Okay, hey, welcome to our anime hot take stream on April the 1st because possible deniability. So yeah, whether these are actual hot takes or not hot takes, well, it'll depend on how mad you guys are. So it's like Schrodinger's hot takes in a way, I guess.
Well, see, I contend it's not hot takes because I always tell the truth.
You're always wrong about everything.
I'm never wrong.
Okay, and well, it's been a while since we had a stream, so hopefully nothing goes wrong like last time and stuff like that. But let's go. Okay, obviously we gotta start with the obvious hot take. I mean, we gotta start with the biggest hot. It's not even a hot take. I feel like this is like one of the coldest takes. But man, anime fans have like really shit taste. If you think about it.
Probably. That's why they watch anime.
Yeah. Like every now and then, like on like Facebook or some shit. Like I don't even use Facebook. I just like scroll through it like randomly as a habit. But like I see these like suggested posts where like, oh, like comedy voted like best anime like this season, or like best girl, or like best couple, whatever. And like every time I look at the list, and I'm just like, the fuck are you guys smoking? Like, ugh. Yeah, this is one of my things. Like, because this happens like so much in anime. Like Gundam Witch from Mercury is just like the latest one where like this really pisses me off. But like anime needs less of that like tsundere parent thing where like, oh, like this guy's like he's just a shitty dad, but like it turns out that he's just like bad at communicating and he's actually like cares about this girl the whole time. They were just like misunderstanding. Like fuck that shit. Like just like you can't like undo all the bad shit you did to your kid like their whole lives by just like a tiny ass like quote unquote like heart wrenching scene towards the end or whatever. We need more like I probably shouldn't say the word, otherwise YouTube's gonna ban me.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's like so many like examples of like parents like this.
Yeah, that's just called anime.
It's called
parents.
being Asian. Oh yeah, in the same way, like pacifism, like you always pisses me off. Like you see these main characters, like they're like, oh, like you're fighting a war, and like everyone around you is like about to die, but then they're like, oh, but like, I'm a pacifist. Like I can't possibly like bring myself to kill these people, even though like their enemies like about to like kill and murder everyone you know and love. Like, oh, you can't talk right now. And but, yeah, like sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And then these guys are always like, oh no, I'm not gonna do anything to them because like I'm too innocent. And then the story, like they know the viewer wants the enemy dead, so the story just like kills the enemy off in like some random ass.
Oh, just
thing.
like some
like Xenoblade 1, like he was like, oh no, I can't kill this like Norio Wakamoto guy. And then like this what was it, like a building, the tower or some shit? Like, just falls on him, like pierces him, and like he falls to the ground or some shit like that. And it's just like you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. I feel like that's the worst part because I don't know. I feel like if they do something like somehow reform them or something, okay, that does something. Like the protagonist is actually proactive about dealing with it somehow. But then like if some outside force just does it for the protagonist so that they're squeaky clean, that's just lazy.
Yeah, that's just really lazy writing. Like that one part like made me hate like Xenoblade 1 like story so much.
Melia's still best girl.
Melia's best girl for Xenoblade 1. I mean, like I like Fiona's looks because like Mecha Musume, and like she's kind of hot that way. But like personality wise and like story wise with development and stuff, Melia's best girl. And also it's like, God, I lost my train of thought.
You're too angry.
I was too angry. I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me later. Oh, and in the same way, Japan needs to learn history. Like, you know how many times, like, I read an isekai light novel, and then, like, the protagonist goes over and it's like, oh no, I'm not used to this world, or I can't possibly, like, kill these people because I came from such a peaceful country, and it's like...
Yeah. Oh, Japan.
Like, really? Like...
Yeah. They need to actually teach history in school.
Yeah. I mean, even in modern day, like, there's so much like violence and stuff that goes on behind the scenes that like people just conveniently ignore just so that they can like pretend to be like innocent and shit.
Well, it's definitely willful ignorance to some extent.
Yeah. This actually come up again in a more like show specific slide later. Right now we're talking more like general slides, I guess. But yeah, this is like a main thing. They go so hard and like, oh, like Japan's like being colonized by all these other powers, and Japan's like such a victim, and like did you guys forget what you did in World War II? Like actually they did forget because like they literally like wiped it off their like history textbooks.
Well, yeah, and then anytime like the topic might be relevant, we always gloss over it, or like, oh, it's alternate history where this never happened, so it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, I remember now, like for the peer slide, like from my take, like the only time you should leave an enemy alive is if you can use it to your advantage. That's the only time you leave them alive. I mean, there are many ways to use them to your advantage, but you need to make sure to use them to your advantage if you're gonna live, like not kill them.
Thank you, Sun Tzu.
Oh yeah, there's another one that like really annoys me too. Like there's so many like anime boomer fans that whine about how like these days like nothing is good but then like you tell them like, oh, like that's actually this new show that came out and like that's really awesome and stuff, and like they just refuse to watch it anyways and then continue on complaining. And it's like, the fuck do you want? Like bitch, like if you're not gonna like watch anything new, like at least just shut up about it instead of like saying that like there's never anything good and just like only all the good shit like back in the day.
You know what I say? If you haven't watched an anime in 20 years, can you really be an anime fan?
Yeah. Like recently there was also this like trend on Twitter where people like post their favorite anime from like whichever year, and like so I had to like go back through like the past few years to like look at like my favorite from like each year and stuff. And there's always like tons of good shit coming out each year. Like some years they have more good shit, some years they have like less. So it's like kind of variable, but it's not like it's like going down or anything. It's just kind of like all over the place, which as it should be. I mean, it's just a medium that just grows along with us.
Well, yeah. See, the problem is people kind of interpret like their formative years as the same as, you know, the best years.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, if you transported them like time travel to a different time period and they were exposed to different shows, they would have a different opinion.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for being nostalgic for stuff you grew up with or stuff that happened like while you were a teenager. But I mean, you need to be able to separate that from just like, oh, like everything new is shit.
Yeah. I say this being hundreds of years old.
Yeah, you old ass bitch. Oh, R.I. Pecco. R.I. Pecco.
Never trust Crunchyroll again. Crunchyroll games. No, everything they touch dies.
Yeah, what does they kill? Like Simple Gear?
Actually, they didn't actually have Simple Gear.
Wait. Oh, huh.
But they had a bunch of other games that shut down.
Yeah.
So, oh, actually, you know what? On their website,
yeah,
they had a section called Vaulted Games where they list vaulted, like, I don't know, sealed,
like dead games.
Yeah. Oh, so they listed out a bunch, but this frequent like nonsense.
Yeah.
They decided to remove that like from the website just because it went over so badly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they decided to announce it on Pecorino's birthday.
Yeah, like look at her thing, like, oh, here's another year sharing lots of delicious food, except there's not gonna be another year.
We don't even have a month. It's just or we just only have a month.
Yeah, like I forced myself to like quit all gacha games because like it was like it's poison to like my ADHD brain. But even then, like I'm so sad. Like I spent a lot of time in frequently makes you waste a lot of time in it. I also like spend money and shit sometimes too.
That's a different matter.
Yeah, and like I love the characters a lot. So it's like it's sad.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like I feel like it wouldn't be so bad if they announced it like a few months ahead of time, but.
Yeah, but like even Simple Gear, but like that one's like really like messed up, like released like all the way through, and it happened during the pandemic too. But they still announced it like half a year ahead of time.
Yeah. Like it kind of feels like they waited to announce it until her birthday, the mascot's birthday.
Yeah, R.I. Pecco, like what the hell? Or are they gonna be like, oh, April Fools? But not really, because like they announced it yesterday.
Yeah. So no, don't gotcha. Buy figures like us. They won't go away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of Crunchyroll, and some people may wonder like how much we're being paid to like advertise all these shit. Oh, actually, no one wonders that because no one. Yeah.
Wait, what? You're drunk.
I'm like sometimes people might wonder if we got paid or anything like that. And like here's how we prove we're not being paid. We're saying right away, Crunchyroll needs to pay their staff and let them unionize their shit.
Oh my god, Crunchyroll.
We're not getting sponsored by anyone at this rate.
Maybe.
But yeah, I feel like this shouldn't be a hot take, but it feels like it's a really huge hot take. Well, I guess that's another thing. Like the things that we think are might be hot takes. Like we don't know if they actually are hot takes because we're kind of just detached from people. But like, every now and then, I see like hints of what the other like trashy anime fans are like, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, like there's there's so much like crap going around, like being spread around with the whole like localization stuff, and people always complaining about like, oh, you need to be as like as straight direct translation as possible, and people always talking about like, oh, fan stuff's better, like localization, and like like I see people like actually like harassing like translators on Twitter and stuff like that. And it's like localization isn't always inherently bad. Like, I mean, there are some examples of like bad localization, especially back in the day with all these like jelly-filled donuts. But localization by itself isn't necessarily bad. It's like a lot of times that you can translate like a word or sentence like word for word directly, but it has completely different nuances and feelings to it. And it has in every language. Like you can't ever have like a true translation because there's just so much cultural context and just like this people growing up in different cultures and different languages will react to different words and phrases differently. So if you want to get like, so it's less about getting the words, but more about getting like the actual feelings across.
Right.
And a lot of people just fail to understand that.
I think it kind of depends on a case-to-case basis, or like what the intended outcome is. Like sometimes like things will translate one way, but like the I guess what you're saying, the nuance doesn't necessarily carry over.
Yeah, I think it's also because like since so much shit was like horribly localized like before, like nowadays like people just get sour about everything. Although I guess that like even nowadays there are still some cases of like things being kind of weird, or like a lot of people like to complain about Fire Emblem dialogue like changing needlessly and stuff. But there's another thing itself from like translators on Twitter, like they were talking about this. A lot of times it's not the translator's fault at all. Like, a lot of times the translator does want to like bring you the most accurate thing, but then like there will just be like requests from like corporate or somewhere. Like sometimes it's even like sometimes it will even happen where like someone on the Japanese side of things, like who don't actually know English, they insist on like making the translator like do things a certain way, even though it's completely wrong. And then they're like, well, like these guys like they hold all the power, so they gotta follow those instructions.
Well, yeah. I guess that's one of those things where it's like the translator isn't necessarily the same person who handles localization.
Usually the translators and the translators are usually the ones on like lowest on the pecking order, I feel.
Yeah. They're just like translation like machines.
Yeah. Oh, in the same way, like I mean, localization and censorship like kind of falls into the same. You see, well, not necessarily. It's not necessarily the same thing, but it's the same people whining about it. And I hate censorship a lot of times too. Like I want to see things like fully, like obviously, but a lot of times people just whine about it with completely zero nuance, and that like pisses me off a lot.
Yeah, and I guess we can also make a distinction between like say something being censored versus what do you call it, someone intentionally censoring themselves. I feel like that's also a different, like, you know.
Yeah, and people. That's another thing too, like where like people will immediately like blame the localization companies, whereas like a lot of times the decision came from like within Japan and stuff, or within like whatever other like country of origin. And sometimes people be like, oh, like it's always like Americans' fault, but like it's not just the U.S. releases, like the international releases as a whole that get censored.
Yeah.
So like you can't just point it like to like one specific thing and like lay all the blame there. And the thing that annoys me the most is when people like start to blame like oh, like it's all the like SJWs and like liberals and stuff like that, right? Whereas like if you look at the US, like you know why the US is like such a fucking like, prudish country? It's like all the fucking Puritans, like all this like prudish shit. It's not from like left stuff. It's from those like old ass white boomers.
I don't know how things work.
Yeah,
things are just messed up.
There are a lot of people on the left who fall into that kind of like really like fascist censorship like rhetoric a lot of times.
Oh, where you go full circle?
Yeah, but it goes like full circle. Mostly like it's mostly like the younger ones who are like they're under 18, but then they go around like into like adult spaces and harass the adults before like, even though like, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And like people on the left who like fall into that kind of like full circle fascist thing, they're just being conned by the conservatives.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Are we talking about anime still?
Anime is life.
Everything is anime.
Wait, we didn't even have a picture for this one. I feel like this is more of your thing.
Yeah. Okay, so this is like within my limited scope of experience, but I think we've reached a point where like dub fans are more annoying than sub fans now. Like I don't care what someone's preferences are. Like I have my own preferences obviously, but I don't care what anyone else does. Like you can watch sub or dub or whatever. Like it's up to you. But I've run into more cases of like dub fans like getting really like preemptively defensive or just really aggressive about like telling people like, oh, you need to watch a dub, whereas like you don't really see much of like, or at least in my experience, you don't see many people who like trying to counter like, oh, like subs only kind of thing anymore. Like I feel like we've like kind of inverted that.
It could be. I'm not sure, but like I guess it's the pushiness that kind of like comes to mind for me.
It's pushiness and like the defensiveness. Like it happens a lot of times where like you see someone like immediately get defensive or something.
Oh, this persecution complex.
Yeah, the persecution complex, like, where like you didn't say anything at all, and then they immediately started getting defensive right away, and it's like, okay, so they're aware they're doing something like bad, maybe, or that they think might make someone might think it's bad, but then like kind of thing.
Yeah.
Although like there was a time when we were streaming PSO2 when they released the English version. This motherfucker came to my stream and without even saying anything, it was just like, oh, exit the game, and go to settings to change the language. Exit the game, go to settings, turn to language. I'm like, fuck you! I'm not gonna do that for you. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? And then he was like, oh, we have like a concert later with like oh, if you in the English version you get this voice by like some unknown person, but whereas like the JP version is like Kitamura Eli. And like, you're telling me to switch from Kitamura Eli? Are you fucking high? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I do like her singing though, for real.
Oh my god, she's such a good singer and a good voice actor too. Like she's one of, like she's a really top tier one, and like this bitch ass was trying to tell me to like switch to the dub away from her.
Yeah. Wait, go back. Okay. Anyway, so something I wanted to add is like, you know, it's the insistence that your opinion is the correct one, even though my opinion's always right.
This bitch.
Anyway, my opinion's always right, but you can have your own opinion that's wrong.
Boo!
That's not even what I was gonna get at though, for real. I lost track of my thoughts now because you punched me. Yeah. Wait, what was I saying?
I don't know what the hell are you saying?
I totally blanked out, for real.
Yeah.
Why you punch me?
Because you always have such a punchable face.
Ah.
Okay, since you forgot what you were talking about, oh man. So yeah, people only watch like critically acclaimed things. And like refuse to like watch anything else. I'm pretty sure they have less media literacy than people just like watch all sorts of stuff.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, well, should we talk about the screenshot?
Man, her boobs are so big that the whole told me like diamond tears. Also, Miyazaki, he's so like pretentious and stuff, and like criticizing otaku. Whereas like if you read a lot of his interviews, like he's exact kind of.
He's an otaku in denial.
Yeah, he's an otaku in denial. Like he's not an otaku for like anime, but he had the story where like in college or something, like he went to watch this movie in theaters like every single day, or like a ridiculous amount, just because like he was in love with like this one actress in the movie, and it's like, and he's trying to talk about how like, oh, that was such like a spiritual thing or like so meaningful thing. Like, no, you're just being an otaku.
Oh, I was gonna say horny.
Yeah, horny otaku.
Well, he says so much quality stuff. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Like how you should only ever watch one movie a year.
And then also like the sex shit and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like refuse to like watch his movies at this point. But yeah, even what was it, like Frank Herbert, like the popular like movie like critic in the US.
Is that who it?
I can't remember. Like even that guy, like he watches like all sorts of stuff, even like the pulpy things that like everyone's like, oh, I can't believe like you would watch this kind of like low stuff, and he was like, yeah, like I'm a fan of movies. I watch all these different things to like see how they are, and like just because like it's not critically acclaimed doesn't mean you can't enjoy them.
Yeah. There's definitely a difference between like that sort of thing, and then I think like even if it doesn't have like say, oh, what do you call it, like heady kind of quality.
Heady?
Like cerebral,
intellectual. Yeah.
Like some sort of like, you know, pretentious quality like that. It can still have its own merits.
Yeah. That's actually a good Twitter thread the other day about how in the US, like all forms of art they must be like when you watch any art it must be rewarded with something, and that is not how a culture that has a good relationship with art should like react to.
Mm.
But yeah. That's a different topic for another day, probably. Oh, this is you. Square needs to die in a fire.
Well, yeah. Like, every time you hear about them, it's just so infuriating. Like, I feel like they should have just collapsed in on themselves like a decade or two ago.
And somehow they just keep chugging along.
Well, yeah, they're just kind of like sailing by with their like properties.
Yeah, and like they don't even have the properties anymore. Like the president like sold off a shit ton of their properties to like go all in like blockchain and stuff.
Well, yeah. Like recently, a few months ago, they sold off. I think it's Crystal Dynamics. I think that's the one that does Tomb Raider, and then a couple of other ones.
Wait, I thought they sold off like a year ago.
Well, whatever. Like recently,
Yeah.
Like, it's not because they lost money, it's because they didn't make enough money.
And also they want to reinvest the money into like blockchain stuff.
Yeah.
And like even after like the whole like I mean everyone knew like blockchain was dumb for a long time, but even after like the big like blockchain and like crypto coin and NFT crash, where like even the idiots who were into it like finally got screwed over in the end. Like the president was still like doubling down, like, oh, we're gonna focus on this still.
Yeah. But like they sold off the companies like below market rate, like ridiculous. So it's like if they wanted to just get money back, quote, they did a bad job of that.
Yeah. Also like this like Final Fantasy VII is a story about like environmentalism and stuff, and we have fucking NFTs.
Yep. But now you can buy you can buy Final Fantasy VII figures that come with NFTs for your figure.
Like who the hell thought that was a good idea? Oh, that guy obviously.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they didn't have Final Fantasy 14, they probably would have like died.
Yeah, I feel like Final Fantasy 14 is like single-handedly keeping the company afloat.
Yeah, even that though, Final Fantasy 14, they messed that up originally.
Oh yeah, like how they had like the beginning one, and they had like have to Realm Reborn and shit.
Yeah. It was too big to fail.
Yeah. I mean, even now, like they're still doing stuff to like piss off they're like what's like their most like the people who are like most invested in the game. Like they also use like kind of like mods, like some for like accessibility options, some for like to just like enhance the game and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And like they're trying to like crack down on it and like and ban people who use it, and like it's completely like misunderstanding the like the core audience that keeps it going.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Here you go, Anya. Go for it.
Yeah, like, I see a lot of people complain about like low budget adaptations. Yeah. But yeah, for me, like I'd rather like given the state of the industry, like it's better to get a low budget adaptation than have no adaptation, because like if you just like a lot of people say like, oh, they should have just like not do this and like wait for like a better adaptation to come along. Except with how the industry is like completely oversaturated as it is, you're not most likely not gonna be able to get anything like that. So like I've like watched like a lot of like anime adaptations of like no it's really love, and like even when they turn out bad, like I'm so happy to see them, because like it's like I'm so happy to like see my characters on screen. I'm so happy to like hear them voice, and like hell, like Real's Hero got like a really good voice cast too, so that was like way more than I expected. And a lot of times like having low budget like doesn't mean it's gonna be bad, as long as like it's still like done like directed like fine. Whereas something with high budget, like Tensura's my go-to example, because like I love Tensura a lot, and like it got like a really high budget. Like everyone's like throwing all their resources in this thing. There's like tons of goods and stuff too, but the pacing of the anime is just like it's just so bad that it actually like made me hate it. And like I ended up stopping reading the light novels, even though it's one of my favorite series back then. So yeah,
12 episodes of board meetings.
Yeah, like that. But yeah, like I often think about this kind of thing. I think it's most from crap. What was that Key show? The one with the baseball thing.
Little Busters?
Oh yeah, Little Busters.
Oh, I need to watch that.
So I didn't watch it because I think like Key is like bullshit.
Oh wait, what'd you say? What?
Who's just gonna like stab me to death tonight?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, like I think at the time like JC Staff did anime adaptation, and I think like a bunch of like Key fans were rioting like about how like it was JC Staff instead of killed animation, and they were like trying to like petition like no, stop this JC Staff thing and like kill Annie only kind of thing, and like it was the most entitled shit I ever saw.
Well, I agree with you at that point actually. JC Staff's kind of iffy, but it was never getting done otherwise.
Yeah, like with how the industry is, like you take what you get. Oh, in the same way, like with like adaptations, I think a lot of people like they want things to like go exactly like novel, or like cover a lot of things. Like but no, like novels, anime, manga, they all have different like advantages and disadvantages to each medium, and you should divert from it if you know what you're doing. But yeah, these are actually two very good examples. Like Tanya the Evil is that. I mean, the overall story is the same, but like the feel and atmosphere is like pretty different between the anime and the light novel, and that you can always like think of them as like separate works in a way. But I think it's a very good thing, because the anime turned out to be like this great like dark comedy. I mean the light novels are dark comedy too, but they had like more introspectiveness. But you can't get that across very well in like anime form, especially like since it only got like 12 episodes at the time. So I think they did a good job in like changing the feeling of it. And also, World's Finest Assassin, This is one of the cases I can say where like the show is better than the book.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. I can't remember why though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bites. I'm not saying it's great because like I mean the source material is already like pretty mid. Like it's the usual like isekai thing.
Uh-huh.
But so one of the things that they I think was very good is that like they for 12 like one core like 12 seasons.
Yeah.
They only adapted the first volume.
Uh-huh.
Whereas like most things had to have like 2 or 3 or like hell like some things do like 5 volumes and shit.
Speed run that.
Yeah, that always like ends horribly. But this one they just decided to just do 1 volume and like they get into like all the different like nuances of like all the feelings and background, and they had a lot of like original parts too that wasn't in the light novel. Like the first episode I think where it showed like him in the old world, like our modern world.
Oh yeah.
The subordinate, like none of that happened in the light novel, but they really help establish like who he is, like why he's so distrustful and how he is as a person. And like for the 3 characters, like they all got like more detailed roles that go into their mental state throughout the series and that the light novel didn't really cover. And so like it didn't come out great, but like compared to the light novel, I feel like the anime like was better.
Yeah, you almost never like hear that.
Yeah, like you never hear like the books, but I mean the books like not as good as the anime because it's like you always hear like, oh, the book's better than the movie, the book's better than the anime, oh you should read it instead like not watch it. But like no, in this case watching it is better.
Oh yeah. We need I think it was both of us.
Yeah, we need more diverse waifus, and well like yes, we do need more diversity. I gotta say Fuyu is only saying this because she's horny.
That's all the time.
Yeah, so you admit it.
We need more Jahi.
Although, like, to be more serious though, it would really be nice to like see more like diversity in like anime characters and stuff instead of like everyone just being Asian or like off-brand European white isekai.
Oh yeah, isekai white.
I mean, how even within Asia, like you always see like everyone being Japanese and occasionally like Chinese person, and like it's pretty rare to get someone from like India or like Southeast Asia. Or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to see more.
Well, I guess in terms of all besides that kind of like thing, also kind of diversity in like body types would be kind of interesting.
Especially if you're isekai too.
Oh yeah. We need more buff girls.
Oh yeah, we need more buff girls. Man, I really love like how heavy dumbbells you lift, and although they really should like shown them to be more buff.
Yeah.
Nekaimashu. Oh,
wait, I need to watch that thing. Like, I can't. Is it Kaminari?
Oh,
like,
Kaminari with the Iron Fortress?
There's that gif I always see with like, oh, that one girl like operating machinery and like her like muscles are just like they're so good. I think that's the one.
I did watch Kaminari. I think there was a movie afterwards too. I'm not sure if I know what scene you're talking about.
It might be a different show. I'll find it.
Yeah.
But like, oh, the muscle definition, amazing.
Oh yeah, like man, harem anime where like no one wins and it's always and like there's never any like relationship development at all. Fucking cowards. They're all fucking cowards. You wanna have a harem? Have like actual polyamory. Goddammit.
Oh my god.
Like it's so annoying. Where, like oh like you have like this guy and they have like a whole bunch of waifus and they're all like good girls too and like you want to root for them, but then it's cause like oh we need to have this thing where like it's this stalemate Cold War forever and like no one can ever like make any progress, and so it's like they never have any relationship start, and it's like I want to tear me hair out.
We'll come back to a certain similar topic later. I think
it might be after this right away.
We'll see.
This one?
No.
Oh, okay. And in the same vein, okay, so smartphone is on this both places because I really like it because it actually has like actual polyamory, like all the relation, like it's all relationships with like the different like characters. So like that part I like. The part that annoys me is that you're in another world with 4 of them humans. You have 9 heroines and only 2 of them are not like humans. The rest regular ass humans. It's like, what's the point? You have a isekai harem. Like you gotta have like more.
So going back a few slides, Anya's saying this because she's horny.
Like where are my elf girls? Where are my Lamia girls? Where are my like Arachne shit?
Oh my god.
I need to watch Monster Musume. Actually, I did watch like a few episodes of that, and then like I didn't watch it because like some like a mutual acquaintance of us like pissed me off.
Wait, what show?
Monster Musume.
Did we? Which one was it?
Like it's one with like the Lamia girl, and like kind of like one of like the first like anime that popularized the whole like monster girl.
Is it the doctor one?
No, it's like way before that, like several years before that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh yeah, this is yours. Well, I agree with this one too.
Yeah. So, like, I guess on stream it makes it seem like I don't like isekai. It's more like I feel like it's underutilized. I think that's the thing that kind of gets to me the most.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I can definitely understand how some people kind of like the whole like restart kind of like superpowered kind of like power fantasy kind of thing. But I feel like it's a lot more interesting if they kind of play into the whole actually reincarnation part where like, okay, they already had a past life. What are they going to bring to this new life? Or I guess there's also, it's not the same thing, but it's kind of similar where they have to deal with their past life in some way and like kind of like starting anew. Just actually like the assassin, World's Finest Assassin, that one was kind of interesting because...
Oh yeah, because like he uses his actual expertise.
Yeah, he uses his expertise, but at the same time, it kind of goes into like, you know, his upbringing like in the past world was kind of cold, but then it's kind of like he's regrowing up and kind of like in a more normal environment. Well, not normal, but you know,
yeah,
having more of a
like he's reestablishing his sense of self.
Yeah. So that's part is like a lot more interesting than just kind of like, oh man, I'm suddenly like God basically in a different world.
Yeah, I mean, I know why people do it because like a lot of times like the people who read this are like pathetic people who have nothing good about themselves, just like me. That's why I love all this isekai shit, because I have nothing good going for myself. I don't want to just die and go to another world and like have powers and shit. But yeah, like so like I understand like why like that kind of thing is like popular, but like just like a nobody that suddenly gets powers. But in terms of story, like it's way more interesting when like the reason they can do all this shit in the new world is because like some experience they had in the old world.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we have the parallel world pharmacy where it's like he does get powers, but to use his powers, it's kind of relying on his knowledge in the first place.
Yeah, and I feel like it was really neat. Because like there's so many things where like, oh, you go to another world to start a pharmacy. Like seriously, that's like the exact premise. Like it's all over the place. But this one, like being an actual like doctor before, or at least a researcher or something.
Well, I mean, technically that wouldn't count as a doctor, but it's definitely a medical professional.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying from experience.
Yeah, and actually being able to like combine that with like the new powers in this new world to be able to like to start something new, like that, I respect that a lot.
Rediscovering penicillin in another world, overused. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, this is probably why we put them back to back. Do you want to add anything?
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? People like power fantasies but don't want to admit it. Like everyone's always complaining about, oh, like this is just another power fantasy. This is just another power fantasy. But like, if you look at like viewer numbers and like market numbers and stuff, like you guys love this shit. You just don't want to admit it.
Everyone wants to be Kirito, except for they don't want to admit it. Let's be honest. They want to be like, oh, badass loner. Yeah. Like,
well, there is something to be said about like shitty boring stories with power fantasies are bad, but that's true of like any shitty boring story. But that doesn't mean like power fantasy itself is inherently bad. Also, Arifureta season 3, let's go!
You just wanted to say that because of that.
Arifureta is awesome. I love Arifureta. Arifureta's the best. I'm gonna make you watch season 3 with me.
Oh my god.
Just like I'm gonna make you watch Hi, yes.
No more highs.
Oh, this is like both of us too.
People need to touch grass.
Like you always see, well, mostly Reddit, I guess, but like a lot of places where like every time like an event ends in like Fate Go or Genshin or whatever mobile game, people like start reacting like, oh no, what am I supposed to do now? Like, and it's like, wait, but there's already a ton of shit you need to do each day for these games, and then doing an event, there's like even more shit you need to do like constantly. So like when there's downtime, like you finally get to do other things. So like get to life.
Yeah, I feel like even if you just want to play games, that's what the million other gacha games are for anyway.
There's million other gacha games and million other like regular ass games too.
Oh yeah.
Or like read light novels, watch anime. There's so much other like fun stuff to do instead of like playing like one game all the time.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I mean, I'm a Hiki need, and even I like like prefer having downtime in games because like like I have like other light novels I want to do. So like for people who actually like work like full-time jobs and stuff, and like how the hell do you like not appreciate downtime in games?
Well, see, I guess that's a good part about Precone like dying. Like, oh, now I'm down to Fate Go.
Yeah. You need to just commit like me and just like quit all things. Although I'm pretty tempted to go into Blue Archive.
No. I have to go into like the what do you call it? Sunk cost. I've spent too much time on Fate Go at this point.
I mean, I did too, and then I quit. Sort of.
Yeah, but now I spend more time, so I can't. It's even worse.
This is why I need to put you in like anime jail.
We're already in jail. Look at my clothes. Like.
And in the same way, like this mostly applies to Genshin Impact, but like Genshin Impact is more of a mobile game thing, and you see people constantly like trying to like turn it into like a MMO or some other like big thing. Like that's like it's completely not what it's meant to be at all. So it's like if you want that kind of thing, then just go play an MMO or like go play in other games that actually have all the features you keep begging for instead of trying to turn this thing into something else entirely.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna expand this topic a little more. I feel like this is the thing for like lots of media in general, where it's like, I guess maybe it'd be, what do you call it, less of a thing way back in the day where you have less selection, but nowadays you get like dozens of things coming out every day.
Yeah.
So like, and then it's a lot. Well, I'm not saying it's easy, but like it's a lot more accessible for like indie devs to like make games. So if you're that inclined, make it yourself. That's
Do it yourself. But yeah, like stop trying to like make it like one thing turn into like everything, because like I mean,
that's how you kill franchises.
That's how you kill franchises. That's how you kill like feature creep is how you kill any game. It's how you kill like anime adaptations too when you try to like adapt like 5 novels into like 12 episodes. Oh my god, like I love Genius Princess Guide, but like they speedran that so bad. They speedran that into the ground, and I'm still hurt. I mean, I'm still glad I got an anime adaptation. Like I wouldn't had low budget. I wouldn't mind the low budget, but seriously, like who made those decisions? Yeah. Oh. Man, this is another. Speaking of like going over the top and like killing off franchises, well, this you can't kill Gundam at this point. Gundam's like never gonna die.
It's too big to fail.
It's too big to fail. But yeah, Universal Century is not a continuity or a timeline anymore. It's just an aesthetic.
Are they gonna make a UC skin for like Metaverse?
They are making a Gundam Metaverse.
No. Yeah, are they gonna have like UC themed lobbies and stuff?
I mean, probably like you see it all the time already, and like Gundam Build Diversity, everyone's like wearing like character costumes
that's
and
true.
shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you see, like they keep adding more things to it, and then they add like side story things or like prequels or things that take place at the same time, and lumping in like all sorts of stuff where like it doesn't make sense as a continuity anymore. Like there's no way like all of these things can fit together without being one giant like continuity error mess thing. So like I feel like even they themselves aren't treating it as like one continuity. It's just an aesthetic for like, oh, you just have like these kind of looks of mobile suits. You just have like these like, you have to have like the Theons and like the respiration and stuff, and they're just kind of like having this kind of it's like those like make your own story starter packs where it gives you a bunch of settings and you make your own story, but it's different for like other people who make their own stories with it. That's how UC is now. It's just an aesthetic. But you always see like especially like English fans on Twitter, like everyone's like yelling back and forth about like what's canon and what's not canon, where it's ultimately it's just such a pointless thing to argue about.
I think I haven't watched as much Gundam as you, obviously, but I guess the thing that kind of comes to mind when you mention this is like I guess long running like other sci-fi franchises, like I guess Star Trek comes to mind for me, where like
any long running thing that tries to be in one continuity runs into this problem.
Well,
franchise.
Yeah, like stuff that takes place earlier in the timeline looks way more futuristic and like it doesn't really meld together exactly.
Yeah, and like you just have like different like in doing the like there's so many like side stories to the 1 year war where like the original Gundam, like there's that one Gundam and like it's like Amuro's like pilot and like ace pilot thing and like kind of saves the war and whatever. But then like you see all these side stories with like a bajillion of other like Gundams and Gundam types and stuff.
Oh yeah, I always got confused by that. Isn't it the point like that's the one surviving Gundam?
I mean, supposedly that like the other units like were also used elsewhere too, which like feels off because like if those existed in the same place, then the story would not have taken place. The story would not have been like that if they had like more access to other Gundams. So like seeing them like okay, they're in like some far off part of space, like okay, like that's kind of fine, but then, like if that was the case, then the characters wouldn't react to that one Gundam in the same way with the same sense of like awe and urgency, unless
well, yeah. The way it's presented is more like some sort of like super weapon kind of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, you say like they built a few of them. Like they have like RX-78-1-2 all the way up to -7.
Yeah.
So and like a lot of them actually got destroyed like before the beginning of this.
Well, yeah,
show.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, but like some of them supposed to survive. I can kind of accept some of those surviving, but then like in other UC side stories, there's like all the like the Pale Riders and shit. There's like all this other like new type stuff. These like pseudo new types, these like experimental shit. There's all these other Gundam types thingies all running all over the place. And it's like if these were all around there, then the original story of Gundam would have like been significantly different, and it wouldn't have like been like Amuro's journey wouldn't have felt that important.
Well, yeah.
So like even though even it doesn't like technically like contradict it, like the atmosphere is like completely like off, like thrown off.
That's what happens when you have a need to sell toys.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
you'll find a way.
Yeah, and like I didn't read that about manga myself, but like some people are like posting screenshots. I mean, of the what's not screenshots, like scans or whatever of the pages, and talking about how like this thing takes place in this timeline, but then this mobile suit that shows up here isn't actually supposed to be developed until here, but it's like they couldn't possibly got this, and they're arguing about continuity all over the place. So it's like, yeah, but that's missing the point. Like it's not a continuity anymore. It's just there for aesthetics.
And to sell toys.
Yeah. Yeah. Never trust the elves. And in every isekai, like you see the elves, they're always like they're either useless or they're just like horrible, or they're just gonna like harm you. This would be so much more funny if I actually had my like this like redesign model right now.
Yeah, don't trust Anya.
I'm gonna grow up to be an elf one day.
Okay.
Oh,
I forgot.
This is on you. Okay, this is not for you. Like if you get mad, like I don't claim responsibility for this shit.
Well, it's just like it says. Everyone has their own weakness, but the only thing keeping her from being perfect is her being a Sonic fan.
Like Fuyu has this like giant crusade against Sonic fans.
Yeah, because they had a crusade against me. Never, those Sonic fans can't be trusted. They'll keep preaching to you. It's like some weird cult.
I mean, that is true though. Sonic fans are like a cult. Like it's good. Also like when you say something about like according to Sonic fans, there's no such thing as a good Sonic game or some shit.
Yeah, Sonic fans don't even like Sonic.
Man, it's like Star Wars fans. No one hates Star Wars when it's Star Wars fans do.
Yeah, it's basically that. Oh my god. Seriously, they keep persecuting me. I'm tired of these Sonic fans.
Speaking of persecution, I don't know.
Wait, what? That's not what kind of segue is that?
Okada Mari.
I love that woman. Even though half her stuff is trash. I love the other half so much.
Yeah, like Omede's in the time season, we didn't finish that yet. Why didn't we finish that? I can't remember. But like that was like pretty lit. Gundam IBO, that sucked.
Those kids, how did they even survive more than a few episodes?
They were dumb as shit. They should have all died like in the beginning right away. But then they survived like 50 episodes, and like how the fuck did you do that? Also had some like really weird twisted shit going on.
Yeah. Oh right, now I remember. Like there was that one like pilot dude on the other side with like the what was it, princess girl?
Oh, yeah, that's what I say. Like, okay, it's this weird thing where like that happens like in like a lot. I don't know. I haven't watched like every Okada Mari show, but like in a lot of them, like I mean, like from the examples here, they have like IBO and like Omede's in the Savage season. Like there's always this thing where like there's this side character who gets like sexually like there's this side character that gets like sexually assaulted by an older guy or whatever, or gets hints of like some like really like horrible shit going on, and she always includes that in her work for some reason.
I think that's just her thing or something.
Yeah, like she's a woman too, but like she always includes that, and it just feels kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I think it was like McGillis, like technically he didn't want anything to do with the girl. He just like kind of got engaged to her for like because this weird like pseudo feudalism politics kind of thing. Like it's that the whole politics and organization was like so weird. So at least like he didn't have any actual interest in her, but it's still a freaking weird thing to put in. So like,
Well, the impression I get is like she likes her horniness in her shows.
is
Like
it
look at the stuff we pointed out. Well, like I mean, Millions in the Savage Season, like that's all about horniness.
That's all about being horny, but trying to pretend you're not horny.
Well, yeah,
Well, I mean, that's called being a teenager. You're always horny, but you try to pretend you're not horny.
yeah. She had the bravery to show.
I'm actually,
I'm not gonna say it.
yeah, I'm actually surprised about like Hanasaku Iroha being by her, but like Hanasaku Iroha like had some like really weird moments where it got like, I mean, it's a really like wholesome show most of the time, but then it also had some moments where it's just like weirdly like really like, over the top erotic like fan service with girls. And I also thought like, oh man, it's probably some geezer doing this. And like, nope, it's Okada Mari. I was like,
No,
what?
that's her brand. That's her brand.
That's before I knew who Okada Mari was, but like now it's like, oh, okay, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah. I mean, she also wrote the Anohana.
I don't remember much about Anohana except that like,
Well, it's not so much horniness, but when you consider one of the nicknames of one of the girls.
oh yeah,
Should I say it? Probably shouldn't.
maybe not.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, I'll just do it. Like, yeah, one of the girls like I think I can't remember what her actual name was, but like the nicknames they gave her was like Analu, like Ano. Like I mean, it's literally just Ano with like a Japanese pronunciation. Then that's how they refer like Ano and like.
Anyway. You should watch her stuff. I can guarantee you'll enjoy maybe half of it.
The Okada Mari experience.
Yeah, the thing is, if you're a fan of her, you don't even agree with the same 50% the other fans like. That's the best part.
Well, I guess it's kind of like being a Gundam fan. I guess you never agree with any of the other fans. What about good?
No.
Bad.
See, the impression I get is you get mad at other Gundam fans for that reason. But if you're Okada Mari fans, you just accept it. Like that's just how it is.
Oh, like I disagree with you, bro. But I get your feeling, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's like oh, mutual like I don't
Mutual
know.
respect, mutual understanding.
Yeah,
If the whole world can understand each other through Okada Mari, we'll finally have world peace.
maybe, probably. That woman's too great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, both best MMO anime. Yeah, like all these MMO animes were like SAO like some other shit where like oh you keep doing badass stuff. Like that's not how like real MMOs are supposed to be at all. MMOs are supposed to be about how jank it is and how the system keeps breaking. And in that sense, both is the most like realistic in a way.
Like how many times did she clip into like some area she wasn't supposed to be in?
Like just clip through things. Like she ate, and she just straight up said like, "Oh, like, I realized I can solve all my problems by eating." And you have your honorable mention of Kutoge. That was, I think you liked it more than I did, but still, I feel like that was more enjoyable than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of plays into the whole. It's not exactly realistic, but in comparison to like other MMO anime, it is more realistic.
Yeah, I guess how I say this, it's realistic in the sense that the game isn't realistic. Well, like a lot of these games, like they're not supposed to be real, or like no matter how much the dev tries, like there's always gonna be like problems coming up. There's gonna be balance issues, like shit's gonna be too hard or too easy and stuff, and players are all gonna complain and like throw up a shit, and that's exactly what these two shows do.
Well, yeah. I mean, that Kusuge was basically Dark Souls.
Oh yeah. It's Dark Souls, but jank. Well, I mean,
No.
Dark Souls is jank.
Dark
bro.
Souls is jank. That's part of the fun.
Also, it gave us like Misa-Risa, like Isawashi-ori. Like if you watch our unboxing videos, like Iris and stuff, I love Isawashi-ori.
Yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of that, that's definitely a case of where it's realistic because of some dumb shit. Because, it has video game logic up the ass. Where things, things that shouldn't make sense, it works in a video game and you don't question it. Like, oh, piss your pants while getting tortured, suddenly new companion. Like Stalker Girl.
Yeah, man, I love her.
Yeah, that's the greatest trauma. Like he just pissed himself, like at a track meet.
Oh my god! I forgot. Oh my god! Yeah. Like when that happened, like I actually like physically hurt me when I watched that part. But like oh my god! It's, like seriously, like there's some like I was not expecting like serious trauma, like serious actual character trauma in there. And I was like, oh, it's all fun and games until like this flashback happens. And it's like, I feel bad now. Like I'm sorry for making fun of you, like MC boy.
Okay. Hero overrated. Hero overrated.
Oh yeah, is that even a hot take? Well, lots of people like it. Like still, maybe it's I don't even know. Yeah, Yaoi Coming is a love story between Eiko and Nanami.
These girls, they need to make a sequel.
They probably will. I mean, like the manga went pretty far, and I think people love the anime.
I think the manga is finished, so
Oh.
if they want, if there's enough demand, they could finish off the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did buy it on the Humble Bundle thing too.
Yeah,
But yeah, like the story between these two, like meeting each other, and then like one being lost, and like the other one like helping her find her way, and like trying their best to save her, and like the other one's like wants to be with her but can't be with her because like it's a very like it's such a love story between the two of them, and like oh my god,
we need more.
yeah. Like seriously, like it's a love story between these two, like you know, I just miss them so much. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but Tanja's Evil is one of the best war stories that conveys the horror of war. Like on the surface level, like people think it's all about like gratuitous violence, but like no, it's actually like very deeply about like how war is horrifying, and by having this like completely like psychopathic main character that actually highlights even more how bad like all this shit is, and like, it's just, like really horrifying.
Even her superiors are afraid.
Yeah, but okay, so it comes across more in the light novels than the anime, although the anime did go into it kind of. But like Tanya, like she thinks of herself as like a morally upstanding and like logical person, even though like from our point of view we see that she's like this crazy bitch. But yeah, like, Tanya, she actually doesn't want anything to do with war. She's constantly reiterating about how like war is like a waste of resources and manpower, and like how it would be best like end it quickly. And she just gets thrown into these situations all the time, and like we constantly see like how like she does a lot of like really like horrible, atrocious things, but in a way like those things are actually lead to like the best outcome instead of like making prolonging wars and like leading even more deaths and stuff. And it's so jarring where like you see this person who's like completely evil, like trying her best to avoid the war and to end the war. Like many times like she wants like a diplomatic solution to all of this, whereas like the people, you see the people who are like supposed like the good guys, or like on all sides you see like the normal people that aren't supposed to be these psychotic people. They all get roped into doing all these horrible things, and like the one of the parts that like really like chilled me was like when Tanya was like talking to some of her like colleagues about how like she just wants to like end the war quickly, and then the colleagues are like no we already like lost too many people. We need to win this. We can't just like diplomacy our way out of this. Like what about the memories about soldiers we lost? Like what about their lives would be all in vain? And it's just like, and Tanya's just completely horrified, and like I like as an audience you're horrified too, because like the good guys are the ones like trying to cause more death and destruction because like they're all completely warped by this war, and the thing is you can easily see this happening in real life where like someone you know would like have this kind of reaction.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So yeah, like the anime is like all like funny in games and stuff, like but reading the light novels like I mean, it's fun too. There's still a lot of like the dark humor, but man, it hits really hard, and I feel like it's way better at highlighting the horror of war than like a lot of like like Hollywood shit, like I don't know, like Saving Private Ryan or like all those other like critically acclaimed like war stories and stuff. That are like where it's like the main guy's like suffering so much through this war. Like this thing is way better at showing how bad war is than like those things.
I'll trust you on that. I don't know how to read. Oh, you added this at some point?
Yeah.
This is but yeah, this is definitely the most realistic like idol anime by far. Like it shows how one upstanding like potential member of society just has her life.
She was a good OL, respected by her colleagues, with a nice job, career. She had a wide path ahead of her. She had a lot of money, and she threw it all away because of one idol.
I don't think she even made it to become an OL. I think she was in high school when that.
Wait, I thought she was already a office worker.
Wait, what? She was?
Wait, she was wearing a suit. I thought she quit her job. I mean, she's in her like 30s now.
Wait, she was? Wait. Oh, maybe I misremember that part.
Maybe, but like remember like when she first came across the idol, she was already like wearing a suit and like looked like a OL and stuff.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it's like she threw all of that away to become like temp worker so that she can go like all these idol concerts all the time.
But the sad part is, she's way happier.
She's way happier, and also you want to do the same thing too. Watching this makes you want to do the same thing and throw your life away.
Yeah, that's why This is the audience. She is the audience. That's all.
I don't ruin your life.
Probably. I need to go simp. Oh, this is another one of mine.
Oh man, people nowadays even know about like VN anime.
No. See, VN anime. It used to be popular.
They used to adapt all the VN anime, and then they switched to like adapting all the manga, and they switched to adapting all the light novels. Like so nowadays, like I feel like new fans might not have like watched any like visual novel adaptations.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, all those VN adaptations, a big issue with them is you have your multiple, I guess, romance options in the game, and you condense it down into one for an anime, and you make everyone mad.
Oh yeah, like, you just throw like weird stuff for like different people's routes and stuff, and they don't really flow together. And because like you can't have them end up with anyone because they need like keep all the heroines there, you just end up this goofy thing that's not like the story of the VN at all.
Well, yeah, it's like you start every route, but don't conclude any of them, and then you're in this awkward situation where like you don't satisfy anyone.
Yeah.
But Amigami had the best idea. Like, instead of like trying to cram everything into one like coherent story, they were like, no, we're just gonna do 6 separate stories, one for each heroine.
They got like 3 episodes each or something.
No,
like
4
that?
episodes.
Oh.
4 episodes dedicated to your main girl, and then with the promise, like, if you're not up with this, the current one, your favorite's gonna come up at some point.
Yeah. Man, that makes me wonder, like, does SS stand for short story?
Maybe. It could be.
Yeah. Also, if Fate Go players, you may recognize his face. That's the Mev face.
I love Mev.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I like Mev because of her, not the other way around.
Well, yeah, I know. Exactly.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? And I think when you kind of separate the stories like this,
yeah,
it's not like the girls are really competing with each other, where like you can kind of, depending on who your preferences is and how the story goes, you can kind of like develop blood with a different character, I guess.
Oh yeah, because like in the other ones where like everyone gets their like route like mixed up together, like all the girls are like always mad at each other. Whereas like in this one, like sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're like supporting each other.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking from the player or like the viewer perspective, you might just like dislike a certain character because like they're your Ochi's rival or something like that.
Yeah.
But this one, like, it's nice that when the characters are featured in a different girls like route, like they're not like they're not really, what do you call it?
They're not enemies.
They're not enemies. Like, they're like support characters.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see more sides to them. So it's more than just 4 episodes for a character. It's like,
yeah,
it adds up really well.
Yeah. Also like
and then there was a sequel, and you get 2 more episodes per character.
Yeah. Also like this, like the curly hair one, I think Haruka was it?
Haruka? Yeah.
Yeah. This one actually like really don't want her to end up with. I really don't want her route, not because she's bad. Like I like her a lot, but because she shouldn't be with a guy. She should be with her friend, who I'm pretty sure is a lesbian.
Oh, like on the swim team.
Yeah, I'm pretty like even in her, like her route when like, she ends up with a guy, like decades down the line, like that friend is still visiting them, so it feels like that friend's like still like in love with her. So it's just like just coming on, like just come around to have like their side thing when it's about something like that. Well, and like in the other routes where it's not her route, I feel like they definitely like mess it up.
Well, I mean, you could argue that her route is about becoming her dog.
What, are we Inukai-san's dog now?
Yeah. Wait, remember like licking behind the knees?
I remember the licking behind the knees part, but yeah.
Whoever wrote the story, madman.
Yeah, you had like the licking. Yeah, he licked behind her knees, and then he kissed the other girl's like belly button, and then like another thing, like he hallucinated that he was like drinking, eating ramen.
Like the girl turned into ramen.
It was so weird. Like what the fuck. Also, like this one, like Ayasuji. At first, like I didn't think much of her, and like her route happened. She's best girl.
She's best girl.
She's best girl by far. Like holy, I love her so much. Also, like man, all the songs are so good.
Yep.
Like I think that's the OP eating songs, but then there's also like the character songs, and like oh my god, I just love them.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet that they get their own character songs for each of their arcs.
Yeah. Emotional damage.
Okay, no one's gonna know this because
like it's
only Japanese people watch this, and Korean people, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of obscure, or at least it was obscure. So Pretty Series is it was a thing called Pretty Rhythm that kind of like like kind of blends like magical girls and idols,
Magical Girl, Idols, Runway,
ice skating.
Ice Skating.
Yeah, and then like it did. They had like really low budget and stuff, but they also did really badly until they changed to like Puripara, which more people might be more.
Oh yeah,
familiar with.
Puripara, way more popular.
Yeah, like got way more budget and like became way more popular, made way more money and stuff. But the key thing that's missing is that like back when it's like still the Pretty Rhythm series, it had tons of emotional damage.
Yeah, so I say this as someone who really loves Puripara, but I miss that emotional damage. Like, you don't get storylines where like one of the characters' mom just abandoned her because she was a bad competitor.
She's a failure. Like the daughter is such a failure, and the kid and the dad's a failure too. So the mom like runs away to like Russia or China?
Goes to Russia or something and adopts a new kid that's way better and more talented.
And then brings the kid back and has a new kid compete with her old daughter to see which one's better.
Yeah.
Like,
peak
Asian mom right there. Like holy shit. Like mom's being like, oh, I'm gonna replace you.
And that was only in the first Pretty Rhythm series.
Yeah, that's only the first one. Or like this one that this picture's from, like the red one, like Beru. And her mom ranks up there in like the top worst moms in all anime. Like holy shit. Like her
Truly a tiger mom.
like tiger mom to the extreme, like demanding everything of her, like and like making her like need like perfection and everything, and then demanding like that she can perform on the same level as everyone else. And then when she can't do it, it just punishes the shit out of her. Is like, oh my god. Like at first I hated her because like she's like stuck up and stuff, and then like knowing more of her, like she became my favorite character. But also like, oh my god, like it's so I feel so bad for her. Like,
this show is really good with having jackass main characters that you end up liking.
Oh yeah. Oh, like your favorite, like the green one, Wakana.
Wakana is the best.
Wakana's such a bitch ass. Oh yeah, like An was my favorite for a while until like Belu's like arc happened.
But yeah, we needed more emotional damage for like these little kids.
Yeah, like maybe that's probably why like it was so like unpopular. But like I think it probably scarred like tons of children for life, like doing this.
Probably. They can walk it off.
It's okay. The real parents were already doing that to them anyways. Wait, no, sorry, not the real parents. The one that abandoned them and then got a new kid to replace them because they weren't good enough.
Man, a drink for every time your parents said that to you.
Yeah, like or it's like, oh, I made you, I can destroy you. If I kill one, I'll just make another one. Like, oh my god, the Asian experience right there.
Yeah.
Like man, watching this like it hurts so much. Man, people say like
it hurts so good.
Like a lot of people say like, oh, like kids shows are boring and happy and like nothing bad ever happens, and like all like the grimdark shows that are like more realistic and stuff. Like nah, bullshit. Grimdark shows, they have nothing compared to the emotional damage of kids shows. Like god damn.
I was gonna say like you don't get that for like a lot of Western shows. Well, actually, I hear nowadays they're tackling more like serious things for kid shows, but like at least back in the day.
Partially, but I think Western shows they're still hampered a lot by like the corporate decision makers.
Yeah.
Trying to like dumb down everything, and like even when like a kids show does get good, like a lot of times like people up the corporate ladder like decide it's like they don't like it and they just like kill it.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, like in Japan, like if something becomes more popular with like a different demographic, they kind of embrace it too. Like like Gundam became popular with the girl fan base, like way more than the guy fan base. We'll make it's like much like Fujoshi bait in there, or like Precure becoming more popular with like boys. Okay, we'll put a boy Precure in there. Like they celebrate like when things go like that. Whereas like in American culture, corporate stuff, like I can't remember the exact thing with the Teen Titans or was it something else. Like there were like two like kids cartoons, and one was like aimed for boys and one was aimed for girls. And like when the one aimed for girls, like it was really good and like it got started to get popular. And then they saw that it was like kind of like eating to like the boy demographic.
Yeah.
So like they're like, oh no, this is like competing with other things. We're gonna kill it entirely.
I've heard stories like that, and but I can't put a name to it right now.
I think it's Teen Titans or some one of those other things. Like I didn't watch it myself, and like but people were like getting really mad when they like canceled it for a while.
Well, I've heard similar stories for other shows though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Attack on Titan is hidden.
Wait, is that guy just chilling in that?
Apparently, I just saw the screenshot and I was just like, "What the fuck's going on?" Okay, so
we're so behind apparently.
We're so behind,
but so are they, I guess.
What is final season? Okay, so the caveat for this is that like we're behind on the show shows, but considering how like everyone says like it keeps getting worse, I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse if we didn't watch that.
Wait, is that what people say? I actually don't know what
I don't know what like the general public says, but like from like a few people here and there, I hear like it's like keeps like getting worse.
Oh, okay.
It's like leaning more into the whole like the Nazi shit, I guess.
Oh, I did hear about that, but I don't know the details.
Yeah, I mean, I know they had like that source since the beginning, but since I'm not well versed with like the kind of like all the like dog whistles and stuff, like I don't know exactly what to look for. But yeah, like even from the beginning, like before, like people were like, oh, like you're just hating on it because it was popular. Like no, like I watched it when it was like airing in the beginning, and like at first it seemed kind of cool because like like oh cool, like jumping around like with like blades and shit. But like it became pretty obvious pretty quickly like the story is kind of shit. And also Mikasa, like a lot, like, so many people like to praise Mikasa, like like she's so strong, she's so beautiful, like she's so like muscular, and like she's such a cool character. And like Mikasa's like a horrible character that does like nothing. Like she's strong and she has like ass, but that's the only thing that stands out about her. And like apart from that, like she has like zero personality. Like she's always like constantly going around after Ellen like a dog, and like just like so like aggravating how like she has like zero personality beside outside of that. And like okay, so she's at least cool for some reason, and then it turns out like it's because of like her like Acroman blood or some shit that made her. Like,
I forgot about that plot point. Oh
yeah, like, it turns out like so apparently she's related to like Levi, and like this Acroman clan is actually like has like superpower blood or some shit that it makes them like super strong. So like it's not even her, like it's not even because she trained or anything. It's just because of like her blood. And I already hated her before that, and like, that just made it even worse. So, and I just can't stand people who like say like she's like a good character because like just nothing about her.
I didn't ever remember any of that crap.
Yeah.
Oh, what the? Oh, okay. I just blocked it from my mind, maybe.
I mean, it's not. I mean, by the time we reached that point, like we weren't watching it because we liked it. We were just watching it out of like morbid curiosity. So that's probably why like you didn't like register it in your mind.
I remember something about some weird cave thingy.
Oh yeah, they were in the cave thing, and then like with history is apparently the real royal family or some shit, and then like they had to like was it they had to eat each other, or they had to eat each other's blood, or they tried to become titan like or some weird shit. Someone just like yeah, AOT. But like people keep talking about how like AOT is like best anime ever, or like AOT is like becoming so popular, and it's like I just yeah. Oh,
these nuts.
I guess we're reaching the part where it's like gonna piss off a lot of people. So yeah, AOT sucks. Macadamia nuts. It was fun at the beginning, and then like until they reach the school, and then when they reach the school, like the story makes no sense. The world building makes zero sense, and it just got really bogged down and boring.
Where did we leave off? Was it when there was like some sort of, not the tournament exactly, but some sort of competition?
Yeah, they had that exhibition thing.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
But then there's also at the time when like they were fighting like villains in the city or some shit. And then and there was the time when like All Might was fighting with the like All for One guy.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like the world building just makes like zero sense, and like all stuff like there's all these heroes and all these villains, but then like they kind of don't really like the stories of them don't really fit into each other in a way that like they like cohesively, and like all the the characters were just kind of like eh. I mean, like, again, like caveat, we didn't watch more of these seasons. That's just because like I got tired of it and dropped it.
That sounds about right. I guess my opinion's not as like strong as yours though.
Oh, I mean
what do you call it? I think mine's more in the neutral zone. Like, we in the DMZ now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's all I really have to say.
Oh, and yeah, Gurren Lagann. I feel like Gurren Lagann is another one of those things where like it's good for the spectacle, but that's it.
It's mainly about spectacle.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the thing that kind of gets talked about all the time is like, well, I guess obviously Kamiya.
People actually call Kamiya up as a good character, but like Kamiya's like a dumbass, and like he keeps doing everything wrong when he just lucks into like it working out until finally like his luck runs out and he dies early on, and like at the time when they watched it, like it was like, oh no, like kind of sad and thing, but like in hindsight, like yeah, he deserved to die like a long time ago.
I think the thing that I feel like fans kind of miss is that interpretation. I feel like is the actual one.
That like he's a dumbass.
Well, yeah, because oh no, what's the other? Oh, I forgot his name.
Simon.
Yeah. Like he does it. He has his own different approach to him.
He kind of follows Kamiya a lot too, though.
Well, like in that sense, but I think the point is like he doesn't do it exactly like him.
Yeah. But it's still like Simon wasn't much better either. Like he's not as much of a dumbass, but he's still kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I feel every time like people talk about like Gurren Lagann, they always say like it's like oh the robot's bigger than the universe, the robot's bigger than the universe. They fling galaxies around like frisbees and like yeah, but that's all spectacle. That's not really the meat of the story or anything.
Right.
And like if you get down to it, like there's very little meat to the story.
Yeah. Like actually, I guess the whole like spectacle thing is powered by like spiral power or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of the more compelling characters doesn't have that.
Oh, the
Viral, he's the best character in the show.
the Vegeta.
Yeah.
The Vegeta. Yeah. I don't remember much because like it's been oh my god, it's been like decade.
It's been at least a decade, assuming you watched it at the time.
I think it's been like 15 years since I watched
Something
it.
like that.
Oh my god. But yeah, like the like Wiro.
Yeah.
Like the Vegeta of the show. Like even when I was watching it back then, like he was the most interesting character, and like he can't use like all this like Sparrow shit. That's like these like oh yeah, the world building was kind of weird too. Where like there's a Sparrow ship and then like these aliens came out of nowhere, but like mean like anti-Sparrow thing.
Yeah.
And, like he can't use any of that because like he's like the defective beast man. But then he still manages like make a name for himself and like just go through things with like his own like willpower.
Yeah.
And like this power energy like representing like like DNA and evolution and stuff and like but just yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It's like it's all spectacle and no substance. I mean, also like the opening song like Sora Yoro Days. I feel like it's one of those like classic like well-known anime songs that like a lot of people like to sing and like cover and stuff. But I feel like it's a very boring song.
That part, I'll slightly disagree with you.
Okay, I guess I need to move my like anime card to the wastebasket. I mean, getting closer.
Don't worry, it was already in the trash bin.
Oh yeah, another one. Another one is all spectacle and no substance. Dora.
Oh yeah, it was not about nothing.
Yeah, it's sure about nothing. I did like the first season when I watched it, and when it ended, I was like, oh man, it's so good, but like we want to know more about these characters. And then we got more seasons, and I was like, I wish I shouldn't have wished for this.
I think that's just how the author rolls.
Yeah.
Like that's their style.
I think the only thing about it is that like there's a bunch of like different characters with like all doing sort of like different weird shit, and like they all kind of like they all kind of like meet and cross over at different points, but then nothing else happens, and like sometimes there's there's a big like dollars versus like all the like the color gangs thing in the first season, but then after that there's never any real thing. Like anytime something happens, it immediately gets reset, or just wipes away, and even when it gets to the end, like with the whole like Dual Hunt thing, like everything gets reset to like they just reset all the situation to be the same as what's in the beginning.
That sounds about right. Well, I think I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like maybe the appeal of it is like the whole like self-insert kind of thing, where it's like you kind of wish you were part of this like fantastical, like urban world, like fantasy world. Is that the?
Yeah, although I think it's more like the how like there's so many different like colorful characters, and like you get to know the different ones.
Yeah.
And like different characters get entangled with like different people. Like I do like watching it, like it did make me wish like I was part of that. And like I do like that kind of thing a lot, where like there's lots of there's a wide range of characters, but none of them get any development. There's not the world doesn't develop, the characters don't develop, everything gets reset, and yeah. It's just,
well, yeah. Actually, kind of going into that, like there's a lot of characters, but they're kind of one note. They're defined by like a specific trait, and that's basically it.
Yeah, and they never change.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just feels like completely empty in a way. Like is this kind of like is this kind of bizarre world that's kind of there, and like it's interesting at a glance, but then once you realize that it's incapable of change, it just means that like it's paper thin.
It's like junk food. Or it's like
at least junk food makes me happy. This doesn't.
Or maybe not junk food, but it's like food that you enjoy, but then like it's not very filling.
Maybe.
Or like you still feel hungry afterwards. Like oh
yeah.
I don't know. That's a bad analogy, probably.
Maybe. Oh yeah, these two are like probably like the only good. Well, even like everyone like loves like this pairing, these two that are always fighting, but then like even then like they didn't have much change at all. Well, I guess like this guy they did get like kicked out of the city I mean like the very last part of the show, but like that was like the only like one like slight change, and it just felt like a bunch of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Spike's family has no soul.
This is more your thing, Anya. Go for it.
Okay, this is probably also a case of like having like high expectations and then like when it gets like doesn't reach that, and like it feels in like conversely like emotionally you feel more betrayed by it than if you just watch like a show that you know was gonna be shitty in the first place. But I feel like Spy Family like it has that like convoluted setup of like no one knows what the other people are up to, and they all have to keep secrets from each other. So like when you're still setting up the thing where like setting the stage, like gathering the characters, like setting up how like things are gonna go at school, like it was still kind of interesting at that point. But after they got past that, like so pretty much like when the first season ended, actually, it just feel like it just had like no soul, and like it can't develop the story or any of the characters at all. Like you can't, it couldn't really develop the characters on an individual level or like character relationships, because like if they do, then the premise falls apart and then they can't continue the story. So like every time like, it seems like someone's about to discover how their feelings are, or like the relationship between these two characters is about to change. Like Lloyd and Yor, like it's not them you think like kids like, oh, like maybe they'll get closer, but then like they have to like immediately reset it right away so to like, try to keep the premise going.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of feels like soulless, and it's just there to drag on for no reason. And before anyone says like, oh, you need to read the manga because it's better, like I did read the manga. Like after the first season ended, I went to read the manga, and it was when I read the manga that I realized like, oh, this thing actually doesn't have a soul. Like you see like in that like the beginning of the third season, I mean the second season, how like they were adopting the dog, and then they had that little arc thingy where like the Tertius plot that, and like, oh, like if you don't stop this in time, like Lloyd's gonna die, and the people like the bomb's gonna go off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it had like a way darker tone and more like sense of like urgency that the rest of the series didn't have at all. So you can kind of tell like at the point the author was like kind of struggling to like find some way to like keep the story going, and then just ended up with that instead.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see like when they add more characters, it's like that Nightfall or whatever. The nurse,
the nurse one.
Yeah, the nurse one that's like has like it's like weird love triangle thing. But I feel like the nurse is like a shitty character that like has nothing going on for her.
Oh, she exists just to be a like obstacle.
Yeah, she's just to be an obstacle and just to throw more things to like keep the story going. But then again, I want to like love these characters a lot, and then all of them are kind of like that. Like they just kind of stay there, and it's kind of it's like Durara. Like nothing changes, and because that's the premise, it inherently can't change, and that's why it's forced like meander along without soul.
It has the endless manga syndrome.
Yeah. But at least like a lot of manga, like they have like a big like story plot that goes on for a while before like they get like put into that log, whereas like this one is kind of like in there like right from the get go.
Uh-huh.
Or like, well, after they set up the story a bit, and then it gets put in the slog right away. Like even Bleach is known as like the one that gets like caught in the slog forever. Like the first like Soul Society arc like actually kind of made sense while we still had like was staying to like what the author like originally wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
But then after that they got forced to continue. That like became.
Oh, then he got tired of everything.
Yeah. But yeah, like at the end of the second season, like you saw him like finally make like, oh, first contact with like this like Damien's dad or whatever. And read the manga like way further ahead than that, no shit ever happens. And like you see lots of fan art like, oh, like, Anya and Damien being sweet together. None of that shit ever happens. Actually, like there's I feel like most of the perceived character development that people have is from like fan art and stuff, not from the actual story.
I'll trust you on that one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Wait, did we skip over something?
Yeah. No. Okay. This one is I say it a lot. Tensura, Shuna better than Shion. Shion just a dumbass, but we already have Milim who is a dumbass. So yeah, if you're gonna have like two main waifus, the uptick one should be Shuna. She's better than Shion in every way.
I like how you said it so academically.
I mean, I said it so many times on unboxing things, and I unboxed like them.
Yeah.
Also, I guess I said it earlier about how like the pacing is horrible.
Yeah, that too.
And I need to use the bathroom.
Okay. Do we have a break screen?
I and we're back. So where was I?
Your usual rant.
Yeah, also Shuna sounds really good too, and yeah, she wants her entire personality is boobs, but Shuna actually seems more fun and stuff. Also, she's cuter. Oh yeah, she's voiced by Senmon Kisayuka, whose voice I really like. She also voiced Anis from the Yuri Magical Revolution that just ended. So yeah. Although I think Shion was voiced by Mao though. Yeah.
Oh, Mao. Do you want to do it?
Yeah. Redo with healer, better than Shield Hero. Okay, I know you're probably going, what the fuck? So give me, let me explain.
How did we get to this situation?
How did we get here? Okay, so Shield Hero so the thing is, people always talk about these characters are the bad, or these characters are bad, and these shows are you shouldn't watch these shows, blah blah, because the characters do bad things. I'm okay with characters doing bad things. I like it when characters actually twist and stuff. Because I mean, you want that's part of the novelty of fiction. It's all stuff that's not gonna be happening in the real world, and you want to. It's always more fun to see all sorts of different characters. So I don't mind seeing some characters that are twisted and evil. It kind of make things more fun. So, Real Hero obviously that's a lot more horrible shit than Shield Hero. But I would say the difference between the two of them is that Redo Healer doesn't have any pretense of the main guy being good.
Oh, there's not really the justification kind of thing, or sidestepping the issues.
Yeah, well, maybe it does in Light Novels. I didn't read the Light Novels because the manga, that Light Novel author. Oh yeah, it's the same author as World's Finest Assassin, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the author actually someone actually asked if they were gonna get it novels in English, and they're oh yeah, none of the publishers wanted, which honestly probably good. Even though I want to read it, it's probably good that none of the publishers picked it up, because that could it would definitely lose money and probably hurt the publisher's reputation for a long time.
Probably.
So it's probably good that they didn't pick it up. But anyways, so just speaking from the anime, because I haven't read the light novel, Real Healer it's not under any pretense of showing that the main guy's good. It's just yeah, this guy's he does a bunch of horrible shit, and he's a horrible person. You're not supposed to feel sympathy for this guy. You're not supposed to think this is appropriate, or any of this is justified. It's just everyone in this world are just shitty people, and they're all doing shitty things to each other. Whereas Shield Hero, I mean, I keep saying Redo of Shield.
That's the sequel.
Yeah. But Shield Hero, you see him have this I got betrayed by all these people, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, like being oh yeah, the way that Shield Hero gets betrayed is always like feels like very paper thin too. Like the characterizations of like all the different characters is always really whack. Like, and I say this as someone who read the light novel too. I actually read the light novel pretty far before. But Shirio, like he got betrayed, whatever. Like, he can't trust someone. Like he ends up like with like slave girls, whatever. But then afterwards, like they keep trying to portray him as like like being like he's oh he's this prickly guy that's actually doing good things. Like he's actually like good at heart and having justifications and stuff. And like they have like that stupid like slave shield or like he needs to like go and like have all these slaves because like they get powered up by his shield. But, like,
oh right, that thing.
That's like so fucking stupid and like the author could have easily not done any of that. The author could have easily not put a shield in, but clearly the author put it in because they just to make an excuse to like have this guy have all these slaves.
Oh yeah.
And when they keep showing like the everyday people like they hate the other heroes, but they always like respect these guys. Like they're always like cheering for him, and like he's always like encouraging them and stuff. And then like oh yeah, so like he's clearly supposed to be like the good guy, the sympathetic character, and. Also that like Raftalia is like stupid. Like I like Raftalia a lot, but like she has those like stupid lines where like if you truly care about slaves and slaves' rights, and why don't you have a slave as you? And it's like the fuck.
Oh
like,
right.
Bitch, like what?
I forgot about that.
Like what? Like what?
Oh, see, the one I was thinking of was like the whole trial thing where it's like. Oh, what do you call? I don't remember what it was, but like they redid the contract.
Yeah, like that happened at the same time too, because like they're doing the same like.
What was
part.
it?
Yeah, it was doing the same part, but like, and when they broke like the slave curse, and she was like, he can't trust anyone unless I'm his slave, so like, I'm gonna go back to being a slave, and it's like the fuck. And then like in the other world, like she became like the katana hero, and then like so like the slave contract thing doesn't work anymore because of the hero powers, and like. And then they're showing them like, oh no, it's like they're being sad about this kind of like this bond being broken. And it's like, the fuck, mate? Like no, like this, no, that's not how it's supposed to do. Like no, just no. And then and then like he has like that other like green haired girl that made him the slave because of like the power shit.
Oh right.
And then and the book didn't cover it yet, but like you know how like at the end like he rebuilt like Raptalia's village to like put all the like beast people back or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like after a while, like he goes like collecting people who came from the village who were like scattered and like try to put them back. And then he makes them all slaves so that they can fight against the waves thing. It's like and he's while all being like the good guy trying to save the world kind of thing. Whereas like Rito Healer is like he's not a good guy. He's not. There's no justification. There's no sympathy. Like everyone's just horrible. That's just how the world is. We're just here just to like see like this horrible shit.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, doing that kind of sidestepping justification nonsense, cowardly.
Yeah, like I'm okay with bad characters and doing bad things, but just don't try to portray it as like this is good actually.
Well, yeah. Like, there's definitely a difference when talking about various series with that, where it's like, X character is bad or whatever, and treating it as an endorsement of said traits or behavior or that sort of thing.
Yeah, this goes both ways. It goes both from a creator's point, where like a creator can do like I hate it when a creator like tries to endorses that, but it also goes from the other point. On the other side too, like as an audience, a lot of audience people like they see a bad character doing bad things and they just immediately go like, like this creator endorses that, or like this show endorses that, when like no, like this character is not supposed to be sympathetic at all, and the audience just like doesn't consider that too. So
yeah,
it's a two-way street.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, because like there's definitely stories where the author intentionally like makes that choice because it's more effective to show that side of it than the opposite.
Yeah. Or where the story's not supposed to have any sort of like moral value at all. It's just there to be like just pure entertainment.
No, I guess that too.
And people can't see past that. I mean, obviously there's more nuance to that, especially with like how
it had to be a show by show kind of thing.
Yeah, it has to be a show by show thing, but so like there's definitely like a lot of nuance to it. But a lot of people just apply like just like kind of blanket like mindless like view of it. Also, Norn best girl. Norn before she got erased and turned to that like I don't know what like Emily Claire or whatever.
Yeah,
I can't remember her new name, but the previous Norn when she was like sadistic and evil and like completely horrible. That's the best version.
Okay,
the best girl.
Okay, I'll say Norn. The next one is Demon Lord one, for me. Okay, then Setsuna. Then wait, is Freya the original?
Freya's the
Freya.
Yeah.
Freya. Then Flare. Then the other one.
the night lady.
Yeah, she didn't get much screen time.
Yeah, night lady didn't get much screen time. I like Sasuna a lot too.
That's my power rankings.
Actually, if you think about it, like the Demon Lord's the only one that that was like not like tricked by anything going on. So like the Demon Lord's the only one that had like same personality throughout.
Yeah.
But yeah, Norn best girl. I want more Norn.
Oh, people need to watch this. Don't sleep on this.
Like honestly, like back when I first saw it, I was like, oh, what the hell is this? Like this that. That's when I was like kind of like the pretentious teenager phase too, where I was like, oh, what is this? Like, oh, it's just like fan service anime. Like it's probably stupid. Don't watch it. And then like, and I watch it later, and like this show, Cat Planet Cuties or like Asobi ni Kyo, Cat Planet Cuties is way more lit than you'd think.
I can definitely like endorse it. Like, was it my fault that you watched it?
Well, I also saw like other people I knew who had like, I feel like they have like actually like discerning taste in anime, and they were praising it too. So I was like, maybe there is something to this.
Oh, I know. We were watching Nekopara.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'll show you a better cat girl.
Yeah. So you come here for the cat girls, but you stay for the spies, the geopolitics, the counterterrorism stuff, the weapon sales, the intergalactic like diplomacy.
Yeah, basically.
Like this shit is lit.
Yeah. You know, this actually makes me kind of remember something from college where I guess occasionally we kind of have like a theme night where everyone brings like an episode of something random like for a certain theme, and the theme was kind of like guilty pleasures. I think that's what we did. So I brought an episode of this, no context, and I thought everyone's gonna be like, yo, what the hell? But actually, a lot of people enjoyed it.
Man, what would be my guilty pleasure?
But yeah, the episode I showed was when they had to assault the cruise ship and like do the rescue operation.
Man, just hearing that like for anyone watching this out of context, that's already kind of like wow.
It was the best.
Yeah. Oh man, also the OP song. Like,
yeah, they had to rescue the girls from that cultist, like that cat girl like worshipping cult. That's all you need to know.
I need more of this. Was it manga originally?
Yeah, there's manga. Wait, remember we saw on the Bookwalker? Is that it? You can buy it on there.
Wait, it's on Bookwalker?
I think so.
Oh shit, maybe I need to get this. But yeah, this shit lit. Also, like, man, she's so hot.
Eris is great.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of do like all the girls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, another one. Like, I feel like no one else apart from us watched this.
Only military otaku watch this.
And I mean, even some of the military otaku probably didn't watch it because like, oh, girly Air Force is probably not gonna be like actual military. But like this is another one where like it's actually amazing that more people didn't watch. So it has like I feel like it actually does like pretty good respect for like the original like military aircraft that they're based on.
Mm-hmm.
And and there's a lot of heart to the characters and relationship dynamics that goes on too. And I feel like the characters like do grow and develop and stuff. So it's really nice to see that. But also I can't really go into spoil. Well, because it's right from the beginning where you see that like, oh, like there's like aliens invading and you just like.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
It actually, like a lot of times like these kind of stories they just go into like the whole like, oh, war thing, fighting thing, and not don't think too much about it. There's a lot. This one goes into a lot of like sci-fi concepts about various things and about like goes deep into like consciousness and the meaning of like self and like someone's like perception of the universe around them.
Mm-hmm.
It plays with a lot of sci-fi concepts really well, and even within like those like 12 episodes, and I feel like it's a very good show. And like I really wish we got more.
Yeah, I can't remember. Was this a light novel?
I can't remember.
I feel like it's a light novel.
Yeah, since I'm actually reading stuff on Bookwalker now, I should probably look it up.
This needs a crossover with. Oh no, how do you pronounce Sigrid?
Oh, Warlords of Sigrifa.
Yeah, that thing. It's like I keep wanting to say like Sigurd.
you kept calling
Siegfried.
it you kept calling it Siegfriedia when we were watching it.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that's another one too. Like I guess it's similar, but like girls like flying aircraft things, and also like a touch of, like supernatural. Although I feel like Girly Air Force is a better show than Sigrifa. But like Sigrifa, it kind of messed up the world, but some of the world building story, and I feel like the ending was kind of like not done very well.
It was a little weird.
Yeah, but it was still lit. I still liked it a lot.
I love those bros.
The what?
The
bros! No, not the bros.
The bros are the greatest.
Yeah. And you see like a lot of like the different like sad parts with like the girls like all the
yeah
stuff.
yeah, I guess for these sort of things, I actually like how they're. Would you call it piloting in this case?
I mean, they are kind of piloting it.
Yeah. Like, Mecha Musume stuff is cool and all, but like, I kind of like this too a lot.
I like both. I just want to see more of both. But yeah, Guerrilla Force and Warlords of Sigrifa, you got more people should watch them.
We should open those figures.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Goblin Slayer is just gratuitous violence with nothing else.
I didn't watch none of this. So
I think I watched like 8 episodes or something. Like it has like the cute character designs, but that's more due to like the illustrators and anything else. But like, I feel like while watching it, like it feel like it didn't have much substance and yeah, and a lot of the world building that's kind of weird too. Oh yeah, it had a really good OP song by Millie though, but it's just like it felt like an excuse to just show a bunch of like violent scenes and have nothing to the story at all. And like they're talking about like goblins are like they cause a lot of problems, but like since there's no reward in doing it, like none of like experienced people want to do it. It's like he's like the only guy who like goes around killing goblins because of his like personal vendetta.
Wait, that's a weird situation setup.
Yeah, because right? But like if it's causing such a big problem, then inherently people will want to deal with it because it's causing trouble to the economy and it's causing power, and there's like it's reducing the population. But for some weird reason, no one gets reward for it. So he's the only one who ends up doing it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it makes zero sense.
Oh, see, my assumption, if, like based on not knowing anything, was something along the lines that like he's just like the expert one or something like that.
I mean, he's an expert at it just because no one else wants to do it.
Well, yeah, but
and eventually he gains like companions because for like I don't even know like why some of them came. Like he became he's that weird like Japanese protagonist. Oh, I mean, it's not isekai. It's like he's not Japanese, but like the kind of like Japanese style protagonist where you're simultaneously famous and not famous at the same time.
Oh, you're like that niche fan, like star,
or you're not like big name famous, like no one appreciates you, but then but you do have like a few people like I heard from you from far away somehow, even though like, no one talks about him.
Well, I think it's kind of like that the whole Japanese thing where, well, I guess it also kind of goes into like other Asian like mentality where it's like
you need to be humble. You can't want like people. Like the author and the audience wants the fame, but society you're expected to not want fame. So it kind of pulls this weird thing where you're both famous and not famous at the same time.
Yeah, that thing.
So you you're having your cake and eating it too. Just like how you like, just like the thing with like Xenoblade, like oh he doesn't kill them, but but like falling prick kills him. So yeah, it's that kind of thing. And but yeah, the world building is just really weird, like with these goblins and stuff. Where like okay, if there is, but like the scale of damage they cause is like incongruent with like the amount of like the seriousness like everyone else treats the problem with apart from him. And like some people are like, oh, he's so admirable because he's doing this, but like then why don't you like increase the reward that you're giving out, or like why don't you do it too? And around the part where around like episode 8 or whatever where I reached, like there's a part where like I guess he kind of died in a goblin fight or with like big horde of goblins or something with party, and they had to bring him out to like resurrect him, and like he was with like this sword priest or someone who's like this like super like high ranking priest that was like part of like Heroes Party or something in the past and like really powerful and stuff. But then the was talking how like he had to like have his body like, sleep with this girl because like sleep in the same bed with this girl because like only a virgin can like cast like the resurrection spell or some shit. And so it's like and she can't do it because like this like super powerful priest like got raped by goblins before or something like that. And it's like, like why would you be in a position where that would happen?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if I read like they're probably gonna try to give some justification to like some weird justification like to ring it out, but it just feels like so convoluted.
Well, I guess that's what we like to call in the business plot contrivance.
Yeah. But yeah, the characters, none of them have like any sort of like like meat to them. Seriously, it's just good. It's just good visuals. That's it. Oh, this is you. Nice boat.
Wait. Did you watch School Days?
No.
Oh my god.
I heard like it was like one of the yanderes and shit, and I just heard like wait, that sounds like dumb as shit. I don't want to watch this.
See, the whole thing. Okay, this will be different for the anime because obviously it's linear, but the whole reason the game became popular, or at least
so it's based on a game.
Yeah, it's a VN.
Oh.
Multiple routes. You're there for the spectacle of how it's gonna end horribly. Like, there's I think there's a few actually like quote good endings,
Huh.
but basically, you're there for the bloodbath. Let's be honest. But anyway, I'm not too familiar with that one. As far as the anime goes, characters are they're just so unlikable. Oh my god.
Like everyone.
Yeah. I think partly it's probably because of the whole like condensing VN story into like one route or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's basically about main dude who is like a complete dumbass who kind of like because of anime logic ends up sleeping with a bunch of girls.
Oh yeah, tangent. Like I guess like newer fans may not see this. Like nowadays, like main dudes are always like the super powerful ones. Like for a time like well, like the 2000s, the main dudes are always like the worst losers possible that people like for no reason.
Well, yeah. But this guy took it to an extreme. Like it's kind of like he failed to the top, where he like makes the most inexplicable like decisions, which ends up with him like sleeping with more girls, and then because he sleeps with so many girls, a bunch of girls are just like, we're gonna need to sleep with this guy even more.
Wait, why?
because Cool Days logic. and then at the end, like, oh well, spoilers, but not spoilers. What do you call it? Like after seeing so much like stupid bullshit, he finally gets what do you call it? Like logic happens where one of them actually gets pissed off, and then he nice boated. Oh yeah. So at the time, for context, they had to pull the episode because of real life stuff that happened. Like that was coincidental.
Yeah.
So they showed this documentary showing this nice boat going down like the scenic like river valley or whatever. And then they showed the last episode.
Yeah.
And you know what happened in that episode?
What?
There was a nice boat. But yeah, dude got decapitated, and she's just like there with him in his head in the bag and just like on a boat, just having a good time.
Oh my god, that sounds... Wait, so is that the only time that like some like bloody shit happened?
No, she killed one of the other girls.
Oh, nice.
No, and then like eviscerated them. Let's leave it at that.
Oh.
But then everyone else, all those other girls, no, they're all just pregnant at the end.
Wait, what? Wait, seriously?
Yeah, they're all.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And it's like, oh, this is kind of nice.
Like just being pregnant to
Like all these girls are just like pregnant with this like dead guy's like kid.
and they were like nice.
No, they're just like, it's all right.
What?
I don't know.
What the hell did I just listen to?
I hate School Days.
Oh my god.
I forced myself to finish it because I knew the ending was coming up.
Yeah.
Because I had to go because I hated this guy so much.
Man. Oh, Fiesta.
Oh, anyway, let's talk about some good
Wait,
shit.
is this getting season 2?
Yeah, season 2!
What the fuck is this getting season 2?
Because it's good shit.
Fiesta is dumb as shit.
Everyone wants a girl that's also like 4 different girls, but also one girl.
Yeah, but not this way. I don't want this one, like the idol one. Oh, I want the blonde one because like you know me and my blonde bitches.
Oh, but they're not part of her.
Yeah, exactly, that's the point. They're a part of the dumbass like whatever the hell is going. Wait. So it's like she's Fiesta, the white one. She's Fiesta, the black one, and then she's also the lolly Fiesta. That's like their daughter for a second, and all of them got to combine to like this like black hair like red eyes one.
Yeah.
But then the other ones also come out at some point because they're kind of like this weird morphing thing, and then there's aliens in this show for some reason.
Yeah, because I told you it was the aliens.
What the actual fuck? Like, I can't believe there's fucking aliens. Like, what the hell?
Because I'm a detective and I knew this all along.
Oh my god.
Use logic.
Chicken this show.
I kind of want that wedding one now to spite you.
I'm surprised you didn't order it yet, honestly. Like, you keep talking about how much you like Fiesta, and then you didn't order the figure.
Yeah, I also like not being poor.
Not being poor is overrated.
Oh my god. If only I could split myself into multiple personalities.
Yeah, go work.
I could beat your ass. You work!
Okay, okay, this is a Fuyu thing. Like, actually, I agree with it. Like, Vegeta is better than Goku. Although I mostly watched like DBC abridged.
I mean, it still gives the point across.
Yeah.
Goku. Why do people like Goku? It's just because he's strong. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Monkey brain strong.
Well, yeah.
What the fuck's an M2?
Well, it's not really attached. Well, it's kind of attached. Well, he gets like, not possessed. What do you call it? He joins a different side, basically.
Huh?
Yeah.
When the hell did this happen?
Oh, later on. But anyway.
Goku shitty dad. Piccolo's the real dad.
Well, yeah.
Except it's like, why won't you dodge?
This is Goku. All he want to do is fight.
Yeah. Oh man, 86. Okay, so I loved 86. Like I cried like hell when I read like Light Novel the first time, like the first volume. I really liked the anime too. But then you see hints of it already in the anime, but like, it's really strong in the Light Novel, and like as you get further in the volumes, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But 86 is just this giant victim complex boner.
Yeah.
Kind of like most like Japanese war stories, like a meme. Where
Japan always does this.
Yeah, like the giant victim complex boner. And like it really pisses me off. Like it keeps like the story starts to say like, oh, you shouldn't like discriminate them against them because like they're the 86 or like these they're seen as monsters for like people too. But then at the same time, like the story and the author itself keeps shitting on them repeatedly for being the 86 and keeps repeatedly like emphasizing how like monstrous they are and like how like they can't fit in repeatedly. And any time that it seems like someone's gonna make any kind of like character development towards like not being trapped in like the old ways or like the old environment,
yeah,
it gets reset or like restarted again. And even though like you saw in the show too, where like he was constantly saying like oh like don't pity us because we're 86, like don't try to keep us away from the war because we're children, don't try to try to treat us better just because of like our past, whatever.
Yeah.
But the story itself is the one that pities them the most, and it's so like hypocritical about it.
Actually, now that you're talking about it, you know what the things that I kind of found a little bit weird?
Yeah.
They're always referred to as 86.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like if you're trying to be like, I don't know, try to refer to them a different way. Like if you're on one like their side.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it kind of.
It's also like, oh, like when they join like this other country, like they're fighting for them, and like they get like people hate them in ways because like they're too good at fighting, which is I feel like it's another like super like Japanese trope in anime, where like, oh, they're so good at fighting, like everyone's scared of them. Whereas like me, like, I mean, if someone saved my ass in the battlefield, I'd be grateful as shit.
Yeah. It's really backwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the whole A6 thing. Like later on, like when they saved it, when like they liberated like the Republic, and then like they joined forces with the other 86.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like these other 86, like they can't fit in with the rest of the army, so they form their own like special operations group, and they call it like the 86 something. So like, oh, like don't treat us as the 86. Oh, but we're gonna call ourselves 86. Don't pity us, except like the show itself is like pities them the most.
That's a thing, all right.
Yeah, like and like everything takes forever to like, but yeah, like every time it seems like things might get better. Like they keep throwing more things, like they put them into like deeper like ennui or whatever, or like angst or whatever shit.
Well, yeah.
And like realistically, like takes people a long time to get over it. But like it's been several volumes, so you should have some character development by now. And like Shin starts to have like a little bit of I think I read up to volume 8, and then like at the end of volume 8, like that's when I like kind of got too tired of like, oh, this victim complex boner. Like Shin kind of had some development, but like everyone else is it's like one step forward, two steps back all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I like Lena though, but like yeah. Oh yeah, like there's even more like world building stuff. Like these people like, oh, like he can like telepathically like talk to people and like and stuff like that. That turns out there's other people who are kind of like have like these like weird esper powers and shit. And like the world building is completely like really fucked up. Like not fucked up in like it's a bad place to be in. Fucked up is like it makes like no sense. Both in terms of, like the special like supernatural powers too, and also in terms of like technology, in terms of like geopolitics, in terms of trade, and like everything we see, the more you see about the world, the more like incongruent it seems, and the more you're just like, what the fuck is going on, kind of thing.
Oh, I'll trust you on that one.
Yeah. Every Gundam take is hot. You can't put two Gundam fans in the same room and have them agree on anything.
I guess yeah. Well, we talked about the first point, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tomino worshippers. I feel like they're the worst Gundam fans.
Oh my god. I'm thinking of Hip Hop Gundam guys. Hip Hop Gundam guy. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Like okay, fine. Like Tomino, he came with the ideas for this, but like it's not like he's the only one who like worked on all this. And I feel like he's kind of like George Lucas in a way, where like he's like the ideas guy, but you should put him like far away from the execution of those ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And the more like control you let him have over the thing, the worse it gets.
Maybe.
It's kind of like how like Star Wars Episode 5 was like the best one, but that's because like George Lucas had like the least amount of control in that movie.
Well, yeah, he has the vision. It's just like he needs someone to like help him execute it.
Yeah, like Tomino, like he was they did the whole thing like, oh, he's finally back for like Reconquista and G, and it's kind of like this like.
Oh my god, what the hell was that show?
Yeah, what the fuck was Reconquista and G? Like I can't believe like there were actual people who were fans of Reconquista and G.
No, the best parts were the memes.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm a genius. Oh no, like that's the only good thing to come out of that. That's the only fucking good thing. That meme. Like Oh yeah.
Well, according to him at the con.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so. Well, he said it at the con too, but I also said it in another interviews in many places. But he always has like feels like, oh, like you guys just don't like it because it's made for kids, which is like the most like half-ass like hack kind of response possible. Because like one, just because just because something is a kids show does not mean it can't have appeal to adults. Like lots of kids shows are really good and are like really heartful and emotional for like people of all ages. I mean, look at Precure. Look at how popular Precure is. Look at like emotional damage, like Pretty Rhythm and stuff. So like I feel like it's like don't look down on kids shows by saying like, oh, this is made for kids, that's why like you guys don't like it. And also like it's also kind of like he's looking down on kids in a way because like, oh, it's made for kids, therefore like all these characters are completely dumb fucks and like nothing makes sense and everything's just kind of like all over the place. So it's like it's so pretentious and hacked at the same time.
Oh man, this guy.
But yeah, like so we went at the Tomino panel at ANYC 2019, and like the way the commentator and the people like asking questions and people like cheering for him, like they were all like kind of like sucking his dick and stuff, and like he was just acting like an asshole on stage. Well, I mean you kind of expect him to act like an asshole on stage no matter what. So you like,
is it really acting though?
Yeah. Well, I mean you expect him to be an asshole on stage.
Yeah.
So if he wasn't an asshole on stage, you actually feel kind of off. But yeah, like he was like just doing all like this like bratty shit, and like people were like sucking up and like cheering and like man, like Tomino worshippers like it's horrible. Oh yeah, so about the like Hip Hop Gundam guy. So during the Q&A, like right away, people were already like, oh like quick questions please, and then right away the second guy went up. He immediately was like, oh, I'm gonna have to break the rule because like this won't be a quick question, and everyone the whole crowd like booed.
Everyone groaned so hard.
Yeah,
oh
and like and this shameless motherfucker just kept on going, like reciting this like, entire like life story about like, oh, like he went to Japan and like, oh, he made this stickers and like he went to this place to, like give it out to like staff of like Sunrise or some shit, and then they went to the life-size Gundam, like give it out to like some high schoolers to, like
something like that.
Some hip hop Gundam. I don't know what the hell the hip hop Gundam is supposed to be, like some stickers he made himself, and like, he was talking like really long, and like we were just like get to the point. Like everyone was just like telling him like just shut the fuck up, but like this shameless motherfucker just kept going on, and then at the end his question, one, it had nothing to do with his stupid ass like story that he was like spent like half an hour trying to tell or some shit like that. And two, he was asking like, oh, like will we ever make a Gundam show that doesn't have anything to do with Gundams? Which is like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, why? Like what's that? Like that's kind of that wouldn't be a Gundam show anymore. So that should be a regular show. So like. It just be a regular show, and like Tomino already does like other shows that aren't Gundam shit too. It's just,
what a waste of time.
Yeah, like I was, man, they should have just called security and like hauled his ass out of the room.
If only Hip Hop Gundam could have saved his ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I feel this thing had like like I try to avoid like Gundam fans on Twitter because like Gundam fans are kind of like some of the worst people. I think always whining about shit. But yeah, Gunpla fans that complain about how others like build or don't build the Gunpla are always bullshit. Like someone's like, oh, like if you do this if you like modify this way, you like it's bad. Or like, oh, if you only build this without like doing this other stuff, it's bad. Like just like one guy repeatedly already said like, oh, Gunpla is freedom. Like just do whatever you want. And like the property owners themselves are like trying to get as many different like variety of fans together and like when they were like talking about the announcement for like the Gundam Metaverse thing, they were like, oh, like different fans can come together. People who like Gunpla, people who like the anime, people who just like the music or something. So like they're like we're all Gundam fans. So like it's completely, so like these motherfuckers that are like elitists are completely at odds with what like the actual makers want it to be.
So is Gundam Metaverse gonna be like terrible?
It's gonna be fucking terrible. It's probably gonna be terrible. but yeah, like at first, like Gundam fans like the fan base is full like conservative, sexist people, like obviously, but even when like I avoid those people and like try to like hang out with like people who like aren't like that, like see like Twitter threads like, oh, like queer Gundam fans together and like, oh, they follow them. Even these motherfuckers complain about shit all the time. Even these motherfuckers that keep like getting into arguments and shit and saying like all sorts of like weird ass crap, and it's like, nope, I'm just gonna like unfollow all these motherfuckers. Don't deal with Gundam fans. That's my advice to anyone who wants to get into Gundam. Like just enjoy things by yourself and just don't listen to other people. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
I would say you just you just summarize social media in general.
True. But yeah, Gundam Double movie, like back then, like I kind of like shit on it too. But then, like when I rewatched it again, like Gundam Double O movie, it's a lot better than people give it credit for. Like people like to hate on it, but like it's actually not that bad.
I feel like it actually delivered on the whole like point that the actual show didn't get to, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, the show was like supposed to like lead up to that point.
Well, yeah.
So like it ties things together really well. Like I think people were just mad at it because like it had like aliens for the first time. Which like, I mean, that just because it's Gundam doesn't mean it has like Gundam's always been constantly changing. I mean, the first like non-universal century Gundam was G Gundam, for God's sake. So it's like you shouldn't expect Gundam to like always stick to the same thing. So I feel like people are like giving it unnecessary flack for that. And if you think about it, like the whole Gundam Double season 1, season 2, it's always been the whole theme of like trying to like understand each other. Like if like sometimes it delivers, sometimes it fails, especially with like Marina, whatever her name is. But this movie, it actually like takes all of that and like it could have been executed better. It could have like relied less on like Setsuna being like God mode and all that. But it still like fulfilled the role of like establishing that dialogue and like coming to a mutual understanding and establishing peace.
It fits thematically.
Yeah, like it fits thematically very well and a lot better than like a lot of other Gundam series managed to do.
Right.
Well, I guess a lot of Gundam series like it's kind of hard to tell whether like they mean it to be like, oh, like they try to understand even. And it's kind of hard to tell, but like oh, if only we can really understand each other, then like we would have war, or if they're trying to say like, oh, even if we did understand each other, we still have war. Like the Gundam series kind of like flip flop in that.
Well,
whereas like this one, like it ties the theme more.
Well, I guess for that, like it's like it flip flops. It depends on this, or it's like if we understand ourselves, we'll be temporarily at peace, and it's like, but then until we're not.
Universal Century is just an aesthetic. Oh yeah, like Gundam Hatsumei Splash movie, like it's pretty nice. But like I feel like people were hyped it so much that like I had like such high that I was like really excited for it, and I watched it and like I felt like really let down.
I feel like its strongest probably point is the visuals.
The visuals and the atmosphere, like the atmosphere of like, well, the visuals for like being in what was it, Philippines?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the local customs and stuff, and like when it was like running through the streets, like doing the attack.
Yeah. I think that's not, or at least for the ones I've seen it. I guess I should clarify. It's the only time where you kind of feel more of the scale of the Gundams, because like, you know, most of the time you're kind of zoomed out and they're like obviously mostly humanoid, so you don't necessarily imagine them to be that big.
Yeah.
But when you're kind of from the main character's perspective, where like this fight is going around them and you see them stomping around and they're like tiny compared to the feet. Like, you don't get that sense of scale.
And
so
like the explosions blowing off.
Yeah. So it's more like a kaiju movie.
That's what I was to say. Like people describe it as like a kaiju movie, and like I feel like that's a very good way to describe it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's
a standout part of that.
Yeah, although that was only like a small part of the movie.
Well,
though.
yeah, that's the thing.
And then like like I was waiting for like the battle between like C and Phenomenal P. It was only like what, like 5 minutes at the end,
Was it even? I feel like it was
like 3 minutes or some shit.
mainly build up, but the actual fight wasn't that big. I
Yeah.
guess that's what I would say.
But the thing that really annoys me is the characters the most.
Uh-huh.
So like, from the thing like I guess the Gigi is like pretty popular, but I hate really Gigi a lot because like she's like this like she's like that like stereotypical like
Brat.
yeah like well I think like the stereotype of like the dumb blonde
Oh,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
stereotype. So like this rich brat whatever like just like kind of like flaky and just kind of like just screaming and like just doing nothing.
Uh-huh.
And then like she had nothing to, she wasn't gonna do anything at all, but then like Hathaway was like had his mission, but then like because like he got like power of boner, he kept like following her. So
Oh, yeah.
there's another reason that like that pisses me off about Tomino a lot. So, like if you look at like the different like Gundams that the Tomino does, it always has this recurring theme of like, oh, like this guy could have been great if he didn't get led astray by like his boner.
Curse you, boner.
Yeah, and but instead of like the way the stories present them is that like instead of like presenting it as like, oh, like this guy shouldn't have done that, it always seems to present it as like it's a woman's fault for like doing this. So it's like Tomino, like there's so many like sexist undertones in Tomino stuff that like pisses me off, and like okay fine, like those things are like, oh, like set out like decades ago, but then like this movie that just came out recently and it's still, and like the dynamic between Kiki and Hathaway is still like great, like kind of like, oh, like the sexist siren leading away to like that's a good guy kind of thing. So that's what I really hate about Kiki. And for Hathaway himself, like he's supposed to be like Mafti, like the leader of this like big like political movement and like paramilitary organization that like you see the scene at the like towards the end, like where like all the other people in the organization like they really respect him.
Yeah.
But the way he acts and conducts himself and the decisions he makes are completely at odds with someone in that position. Like he acts like a really like impulsive teenager. Like he's always been impulsive, even when he was like tiny little kid. Like I just want to stab him to death. But like even now that he grew up, like he's still impulsive, and he does all sorts of like unnecessary things that put himself and his mission at risk all the time. And towards the end, like he lost a whole bunch of like the Sea Gundams like payload because like all the risks he took because of his boner thing, and then people still respect him for it. Whereas like no, like someone in your position shouldn't have like been doing all of that. Or rather, someone who would do that shouldn't have been able to rise up to that position in the first place.
Oh, I have a counterpoint to that. That's real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
failing to the top.
failing to the top. Oh,
Failing to the top because of your parents.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's because of the Noah name. Motherfucker.
It's like, oh, buy Twitter, like lay off half the people, lose half the value.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's more than half the people.
More than half the people, more than half the value.
Still sucking like his dick.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, it is realistic, but I still hate the
because-
characters because of that.
Well, yeah, I feel like that makes it worse.
Yeah,
because,
but people, I feel like it's pretending that like we're supposed to like him, and people do like seem to like find him like really like.
oh yeah,
Some
yeah.
people are now like, oh, like Hathaway's such an interesting, compelling character. And I'm like, no, he's a dumbass with a boner. He's like power of boner over again. Like,
It's a dangerous combination.
yeah. Yeah. Do I have more kinematics? Oh yeah, the only good thing about IBO was the songs.
I was expecting you to start singing.
Keep on. And I hate the song. Like, actually, okay, maybe the song could have been good on its own, but like since I keep hearing that like overly melodramatic ending song at the end of like these like IBO episodes that are so stupid, like I actually actively like hate that song now.
I like it for memes.
Yeah, I only like it for memes, but like the OP songs are cool, but like that's the good thing about it. Well, I mean, lots of Gundam shows are like that though. Like, see, Destiny, full of shit, but it has some cool OP songs.
Everyone loves them songs.
Yeah. Oh, this is you.
Okay, well, I guess the next part is also... I guess this is our different takes.
I mean, they're kind of... They might be the same take if operating from the same premise, but yeah, like,
I think actually they're not opposing. They would actually work together, I think.
yeah. But okay, so I feel like this isn't a hot take though. I feel like this is a very cold take. It's a take. It's so cold you could be selling ice cold water for only $1. Visit.
I miss that guy.
But yeah, I feel like every Mobla fan or every existing Mobla fan like would have preferred them to have that from Extra.
Well, I think there's what do you call it, a segment of the fan base that would disagree with me though,
Oh.
where they kind of view this one as like unnecessary. But I feel like you have to kind of treat the three main parts of Muv-Luv, like extra, unlimited, and like alternative together as
Yeah.
a whole, because most of the character development is like from here, and the whole point of extra, like people talk about like, oh, it's kind of generic anime like bullshit, like over the top nonsense.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point. The whole point is that this quote version of our world is so over the top, wacky, but then main character gets thrust into this like grimdark, like alien invasion scenario, and that's the whole point. Like you start reminiscing about this like weird world that what do you call it? When he gets transported, it's like so distant.
Like the gap makes it even worse.
Yeah.
And also, like, it's in this weird world where like your relationship with Sumika happens, where like Sumika's like she's always been there with you like since the beginning, and it's like supporting you and stuff.
Yeah.
And like if you didn't play extra, then you wouldn't have felt that like huge sense of loss when like she was suddenly gone unlimited.
Right. So like for the anime, like, I mean, the way it's presented, obviously, Sumika is important to like Takeru, but
We don't feel that. You don't feel
like-
that at all.
yeah, like, I mean, if you've already read them, that's a different matter. But if you're going in new, I don't really see how a new viewer will really get that.
Yeah.
But I guess this goes into your kind of.
Oh yeah, this also goes into a part of the beginning too, where like people are like oh like they shouldn't like have like no adaptation instead of like having like this adaptation, and like but no, like given the state of the industry, like you gotta work with what you have.
Right.
So you need a bit of water. So for me, like I'm trying to consider like within the scope of what they were allotted. So my hot take is that Muv-Luv Alternative, like the anime version, they should have skipped out on the character relations and the focus on military ops. So so this would completely completely take away a big part of the soul of what like Muv-Luv like unlimited, like extra, unlimited, and alternative was all about. Because, like, it was all about the character relations and Sumika. So like yeah, like and ideally we would have those, but given the constraints that they had, where like they were working with like 12 episode shows and they what like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I guess they weren't even. I'm not even sure like they knew they were gonna get a second season or not.
Right.
It kind of seemed like they were just.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like they were like just like, oh, we'll see how popular the first one goes, and then we'll do a second one if we can.
Right.
And then we'll do a third one if we can after that. So given the constraints of it, and given how like the character development was already messed up with how they try like implement it in with the existing animation, I feel like they shouldn't have like tried to like grab both things, and they should have like cut out more of the character stuff and focus more on the military ops. Because like the military ops and like all like the geopolitics stuff, the military planning, the different like strategies and things, like it came across like really well and it was really interesting to watch. But then it also got interspersed with these character things where like would have been nice if it was done well, but it wasn't done well because of all the like lack of time.
Yeah.
So I feel like they should have like consolidated everything into just focusing on like the military side of things.
I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I guess if you did it that way, then
Like, it wouldn't be the same, but it would be kind of like Saga of Tanya's Evil, where it's gonna kind of exist as two kind of separate but kind of similar things.
I guess if you did it that way, you could actually treat it more like supplementary material.
Yeah. So like because like when I was doing the character stuff, like because we were missing all the context from before, like it just felt out of place a lot. But like when they were doing like the military stuff, or like they had like dealing with the rebels, or like dealing with the Hive invasion, like those things were very solid. So I feel like they should have just like made it more like, oh, this is supplementary material for like all those things going on.
Right.
Especially since like you can read about the character stuff, but actually seeing like the military stuff like play out is something that like is a luxury in a visual medium.
Oh yeah. It was definitely quite a spectacle. I will say that.
Yeah, like that's some of that's like the strongest points of it. So like, I feel like you should focus on that. And if you think about like the other like Muv-Luv animes, like we have the Total Eclipse.
Yeah.
Like Total Eclipse, it's not as it was okay. I guess like I wouldn't really call it good because like the characters were all kind of like meh too. But it was, but like as one word, like having not read the VN, just judging from the anime, like just judging the anime itself, it was way more cohesive than Muv-Luv Alternative was.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they should just like focus more.
Yeah. If only they adapt the next part.
Yeah.
They're not gonna do it.
Yeah, I feel like it feels like apart from us, like barely anyone watched it. So I don't know if they're gonna
Probably not.
Well, like, maybe there are a lot of people watching it and maybe I just didn't know about them.
I feel like
But I feel like I never see anyone else talk about it. Well, I see one friend talk about it, but even then, like he was mostly impressed with the military stuff and not the character stuff. So yeah, like I feel like they should have like narrowed the scope and it would have been more successful. Well, at least it's not Schwarz's Market.
I don't remember too much about that one.
I don't remember much about it at all either, except that the only good thing to come out of Schwarz's Market is that we got evil Yukari Tamura. That's the only good thing about the show.
Well, I mean, we have other shows for that.
Yeah, but like it's pretty rare to get like evil Tamura Yukari.
No, there's other shows for that.
Yeah, man, I know there is, but like it's not that often.
Oh, I guess.
So like that's the only good thing that came out of Schwarz's Market. Oh yeah, there was like the two poplars, and then like they literally killed the hypotenuse.
Ah.
Oh man, Bakuman, like, man, the ideology behind like working till you drop like that, and like the main like love story between like the guy and like the girl, like it's just so horrible, it's so fucked up, and like what the hell were you thinking? And it was, like every part of like Bakuman's ideology is just so horrible, but man, damn, was it fun. And like while watching it, like I was feeling really conflicted between like, man, this is stupid, but I also like it.
Well, this is the life everyone wants, including like the the horrible health problems.
Yeah. But yeah, like while watching this, I was like, man, maybe I should be like drawing until like my arm breaks and I get hospitalized.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like which is completely the wrong lesson to learn.
Japan's really bad about this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so we didn't watch Date Life season 4 yet, but like
did we do 3?
Yeah, we did do 3.
Or we did.
Yeah, we did 3 because like we saw like Tobiji get her ass kicked.
Oh yeah,
and that's the best part. That's the best part. You deserve that, goddamn bitch.
We didn't watch Data Bullet though.
Oh right? Yeah. So we're missing like Data Bullet in season 4. But yeah, like, deciding a show about waifus, like it's in the title. Like you need to date all this. It's so convoluted how he needs to like date all of them to keep the world from ending, and like them convoluted setup. But like even putting convoluted setup aside, like for a show that's like all about waifus, like none of them are good waifus. Like some of them are like they're kind of okay, but like none of them really stand out. And Tobichi's like complete shit. Tobichi shit. Like in season 3, like you see, like Tobichi goes through some like horrible trauma. She totally deserved that. You had no one to blame but yourself.
Literally.
Literally. And like everyone's like always talking about like how Tokisaki's like amazing. Like maybe she's better in the books or like in one of the stuff we didn't watch yet. But I mean, people were liking her even from like just like season 1, season 2, whatever. But I feel like actually watching it, like she looks cool, but she's kind of.
I like her, people like her aesthetic.
Yeah, I guess I feel like that's the only thing. But like, cause like she didn't have much substance in the story.
Well, I guess people also like that whole mystery thing, or whatever.
Kind of. I just felt like all the waifus ended up being like very bland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about buying her though.
Oh yeah, which one are we gonna buy though?
Well, at this rate, never.
But the Spirit Tail one.
Maybe.
Spirit Tail figures are good figures.
That's not a hot take. That's the truth.
Yeah. Only good thing to come out of Elron Sensei is Elofu.
Yeah. I felt we had to throw in some figure photos because that's what we're supposed to be doing.
We had like a shelf, like an elf shelf, and then it got overtaken by other things. But yeah, we have so many figures of her. But like, yeah, she's the only good thing to come out of the show. And like, I guess some people like Sakuri, but like Sakuri is like way overrated.
What?
Sakuri has like nothing going for her, I feel.
Yeah, she's just there.
Yeah. Well, actually, none of the other characters do. So yeah, Elf is the only good thing about the show. Like, I kind of want to rewatch the show, but only at the part where Elf shows up.
Yeah.
And just ignore everything else.
Like it makes it seem like it's actually about Sagri, but then the story is all about Elf though.
Yeah, Elf is clearly supposed to be the main heroine.
Like, was it like they just like shifted their like approach or something, or? But
then like, oh, it's kind of like Elf kind of like took the show. I feel like unintentionally on the author's part. Yeah. And then like in the last 2 episodes, they're like, oh no, we gotta highlight Sakuri, who's supposed to like quote unquote the main heroine. And so like they have like kind of hard, or like it was supposed to be heart touching moments with Sakuri, but just felt like boring as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elf best girl.
I feel like these strained like relationship things. There's definitely things where it's like been done better.
Only my. Oh yeah, I guess the classmate that owns the bookstore was kind of interesting, but like she's a side character, so it's not like even like she had like just a few minutes of screen time or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like there was that other the Japanese the kimono wearing girl.
Oh, I forgot about that bitch.
Yeah, she's such a bitch, and like she's either being annoying or being boring, and she has like zero good sides, but she's supposed to be like the third heroine or some shit.
Kuroneko overrated. This is not it's not Eromanga Sensei, but I'm gonna throw that out.
I can't remember what Oren was about.
Wait, what? I mean,
Okay.
it's the same. It's the same story.
Except apparently one is like actual sisters and the other one like Seth. Oh yeah, they we thought that like Eromanga Sensei like actual sister, like nope. Turned out it was like that kind of like mixed marriage thing.
Oh yeah.
Cowards.
Kirino best girl, but she isn't.
Yeah.
I just prefer Kuroneko. I just want to put in my Orima hot takes while we're at it.
Okay, Pokemon hot takes. I can't remember. Well, I thought of this even before they announced his retirement. Like since the beginning, I felt like they should have retired him like 25 years ago.
Yeah. They really should have. Well, I guess not literally 25 years ago, but whatever the end of the first Kanto arc.
Yeah, like having one character and like trying to force them into a bunch of different stories over and over and over again, and treat it as the same character. Like this is like the worst part of like American comic book stories, and they're doing it here, and like I hate it.
Yeah.
It just makes everything so convoluted. So, like Pokemon Special, like it's called Pokemon Adventures in like North America. Like that's way better, but like you have the different characters named after the different like versions of the game, and then like each arc kind of follows like the game story, and then like sometimes like old characters appear, but then sometimes it's like part of the main storyline. Sometimes it's just like side characters, but you keep having like these like, new casts and like new relationships with each other, and it has like such a better story. They should have made that like the main anime instead, like whatever the hell this thing was.
Well, yeah. So unfortunately, this is a case of corporate meddling for sure.
Yeah.
I'd probably mention it on a different stream or something, or I'd probably talk to you maybe offline. But the whole intention was he was going to like retire after like first gen.
Yeah.
But then they sidelined the main writer's like idea because like I guess
like corporate's like, oh, like he's too popular, we need to keep him going.
Yeah, we have to keep him going.
And then just like keep him going for like forever.
Yeah. So every season he has to lose at the end.
Yeah. Also, it's been 25 years. Holy shit. Oh shit! I watched it when I was like a little kid, and
well, yeah.
Oh my god, how old am I again? Wait. Oh shit! Oh shit!
But yeah. Anyway, this is not so much about the character itself. It's more like because of him being around for so long, it hampers development. Like apparently the more recent Gen 7 and on is a lot better, but like let's be honest, a lot of character development was just kind of stalled for a long time.
I don't even know, like I only watched like at the beginning, but then it was already like really weird.
Yeah, well, I guess they got the idea that they were gonna retire him at some point because they actually had him win a championship.
Maybe they were like, oh man, we've been in this for so long, we need to keep going till we hit the 25 mark.
Yeah. I think they kind of wised up a bit because I don't think it started yet, the new Pokemon series.
Yeah.
But I mean, traditionally, it's basically been a loose adaptation of whatever the current generation is. But this one, apparently, it's kind of off in its own, not universe, but kind of its own kind of style, where it's not gonna really follow Scarlet Violet or at least that heavily, from what I understand. It's just kind of
Yeah, it was interesting though, like cute girl main heroine, and then the Picatito.
Oh, I wonder if they're gonna make those Kotobukiya heroine versions.
Oh, I hope. I want like so many of those figures, but there's a lot of them, so we never getting them.
Even though I keep on shitting on Kotobukiya.
Oh, Koto quality. Says the person with a million Kotobukiya model kits. Okay, you can't see it behind me right now, but I have literally a ton of them, literally right behind me. Oh, this is all you. I only watched 4 episodes or something. Oh, I guess that's part of my hot take too. I watched 4 episodes and I was I found it to come
Which one? Bake?
Yeah, I watched 4 episodes of Bakemonogatari and that's found completely off, and
so
it felt completely empty to me.
So I guess you would have finished the first arc with Senjukahara, I guess.
Or maybe it was 3 episodes. Well, I don't even know. It's been a long time, and I felt all of it just went in one ear and went out the other because it just felt all complete emptiness and ridiculous and dumb.
Right.
And all those those weird cuts where it goes into like just like nonsensical like video footage,
Yeah.
and like I guess some people thought it was like a good thing, but like I felt like no, like that's just lazy.
I guess I should preface this with, oh, I can't remember what their name is. Neocian, right?
Neo is in
Yeah.
the writer.
Yeah. Like, I will acknowledge that in terms of like say prose type stuff and like language play, that's their strong point.
Wait, I thought you can't read.
No, I'm just parroting what other people say.
Damn it. God damn it.
But anyway, like, that's their thing. In terms of say plotting and like character stuff, I'm not so hot on them.
Yeah.
Like, the characters do leave like a bit of an impression, I would say, but I don't necessarily call them compelling. Like, they feel like they're supposed to be deeper than they actually are, and a lot of the stuff is kind of bullshit dialogue.
Yeah.
Where it's like about nothing.
So Durara.
Kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess like I had the same vibe like when I was watching Durara, like when I watched Bakemono.
Like, I mean, I guess that's fine for some people, but it's not really my thing. But there's points where like it kind of like seems like he's trying to make some overall story that takes forever to get anywhere, and then when it does make progress, it doesn't actually make progress.
Yeah.
That's basically what it comes down to. Nothing actually happens.
So the whole like Durara shit over again.
Well, yeah, and then Nisamo no Gatari, it just takes that and just amps it up to like nothing. Well, negative nothing. I don't know.
I just know it for like the toothbrushing meme.
Well, yeah, that's why I threw that on. That's the only memorable part.
Yeah.
Everything else was just more bullshit.
You want to brush my teeth later?
No, brush your own damn teeth. Wait,
Okay.
I had to go back.
Okay.
But yeah, like even the author acknowledges like they're full of bullshit.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, I just write like stuff that fancies me, and like I realize it's not really for a lot of people. It's just like they acknowledge they're just being on their bullshit, which I'll respect actually.
Yeah. I also prefer like authors to say like, oh yeah, I'm just like goofing off, instead of authors who like try to like defend their work and like try to pretend that like they're smart and shit.
Yeah.
I know some friends who are like huge fans like him though.
Well, I have one person that I think
I think we're thinking of the same person.
probably.
But yeah, Eminence in Channel is fucking lit. It's amazing, and like him and his big brain ass bullshit just sells it even more.
Is it really big brain though?
It's Galaxy Brain. But man, like I didn't expect to like it this much. But like, oh shit, I just love like every aspect of it, and like all the girls, like they're all crazy, but it just makes it like even more hilarious.
This is an anime.
It's one of the best anime of last year. Season 2, here we go, motherfuckers!
Oh my god. I think it is getting a second season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is getting a season 2. I think it's only one quarter instead of like the 20 episodes thing that they did for this one.
I'll never forgive it because probably Crunchyroll just...
Oh,
they probably killed Prikone because of this.
Well, that's all like speculation though. We don't really know why they killed Prikone.
No, but I'm gonna use speculation and treat it like fact.
That's why. That's how we got so many shitty anime fans in the first place. Because people keep doing that shit. But yeah, like Crunchyroll did like the Innocent Channel mobile game. I tried to play it. That thing was so jank. Like just trying to log in, like everything's just constantly lagging and you could barely play it. And then like after I got past a certain point, I couldn't open the game again. Like when I tried to start up the game, like it would just like freeze and crash. So like it's like literally unplayable.
Never trust Crunchyroll games.
Which is a shame too. Like it seems like there's like a whole bunch like extra story stuff in the game that we want to read that wasn't in the light novel, but like I literally can't play it, and also like, the game was like jank as hell. So, yeah. What the hell is this image, man? But yeah,
that's definitely that happened.
Yeah, just let Evangelion die with Boomer. Like it's been a long time already. Like, and people keep like reiterating, saying like same shit about it over and over and over again. So you keep hearing like all the same words. Like just like I'm just sick of like hearing about it all the time at this point. Like, just let it die. Like, it's been it's been a while.
I feel like this should have been earlier in this, like, to go along with our other one about having to, what do you call it? Only watching the popular stuff.
Oh yeah.
Or like well known, well regarded, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But like, I guess this kind of goes into it where it's like, I'm fine with people liking it, obviously.
But people trying to treat it as like this like amazing literary thing. Like I did watch the original, and like if you pay attention to it, like the original was like a huge mess. It actually tried to be like 3 different shows. Like it was like a show, like a shonen show at the beginning, and then at some point it tried to change to this like sci-fi military show, and at some other point it tried to change into this like what's metaphysical kind of like magical realism kind of shit. And so it's actually like 3 different shows that got like merged into one, and it was just like such like full of mess and stuff. But like people like I feel like a lot of people just didn't are like incapable of seeing that.
Uh-huh.
Like, I actually like the big like the middle part where it was like where it had like the more like sci-fi military show aspect of it the most. Like that was the part where like I actually liked it the most, but like it just kind of like threw it all away.
I never watched the original actually, so I can't really speak to it directly.
Oh, so you only watched like the remake movies?
Yeah, I mean technically we didn't even watch the final one.
Oh yeah, what was that on Netflix?
That's on Amazon.
Wait, what the fuck? Why the fuck is it on Amazon?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was I gonna say? Like,
I'd say the remake's better than the original just because it has Mari in it.
oh, well, it probably has the benefit of like hindsight, where like you can kind of, well, obviously the story is not exactly the same, but you can kind of tweak things to be a bit more cohesive, maybe.
Yeah.
Or like polish.
Well, the first movie like follows the first arc of the anime, but then after that it's completely different.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't say too much. Well, it also had a ton of production issues.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like people give it too much credit for like being like revolutionary and stuff. Where like I always feel awful that kind of thing where like things should be praised for like being the first to do something, or like being like a trailblazer. But at the same time, like just because something did it doesn't mean that like it never would have happened if it didn't do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So because like usually by the time like something does something new and revolutionary, it's usually because the culture and the times around that work have already started to change, where like regardless of whether this work did it or not, there will be this thing happening.
Well, right. I guess there's kind of another similar thing where like if the conditions aren't necessarily right, something similar could come along that doesn't like take off exactly.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a year later, maybe, you know, the time is right for a similar show to just kind of hit it big.
Yeah. So like it should things like to be praised for like being like the first or like revolutionary one, like that's not. It's usually not like the like all because of its own merits. It's usually because of the times it is in.
Right.
Okay, hey, this is my hot take. Sawa no Hiroki music is awesome. Fuck people who hate Sawa no Hiroki. All my homies like Sawa no Hiroki. I will die on this hill. Like Unicorn, like the actual track for like the Unicorn Gundam, the track that's called Unicorn. That's still one of my favorite like OST like tracks. And like people are like, oh, like Sawa no Hiroki's music like sounds all the same. Bitch, listen to Binary Star from Legend of Galactic Heroes. Do you know what they say? That the OP Binary Star so fucking amazing. There's so many other songs too that are so amazing, and they don't sound the same as what you usually think his sounds all like.
I'm pretty alright with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck them haters. Fuck them haters.
I mean, I think this would also go into my similar take where, what do you call it? I don't necessarily think it's bad to have like a certain like sound style or whatever.
Yeah. Or like, just because you have a certain sound and style doesn't mean like it all sounds the same.
Right.
That's your early project.
You take that, you motherfucker. A lot of them do sound the same though.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? I would say there's millions of other artists you could listen to if you want to mix it up.
Yeah, and it's like if you're not complaining about someone like having like similar style, then like what? But like that's the point of like having listening to the same person. So it's like you want that. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to have like an artist do a different style, but it's not like it's necessarily a completely new thing. They usually bring their own twist to it.
Yeah, like people are like, oh, like Premiere soundtrack's so good. Like, yeah, it's like Sound no Hiroki did that, and then someone's like, oh, like, yeah, it's good because like, it sounds different from like, other stuff. Like, no, like you can definitely tell that he did it.
Oh, like what are you talking about?
Yeah, and also like if you listen to like Unicorn, like do you know what this is? It's Premiere, like all like a bunch of other stuff, other songs, like 86 too. There's so many different, there's so many sounds things that like you can tell it's a sound, but they all sound like pretty diverse, and like there's so many different like things that come out, and like yeah, fuck them haters.
Next meme.
Next meme. Oh yeah. So,
wait, what's going on here?
I don't know.
Oh, you watch this though.
Okay, I didn't finish the first season. I think I almost finished the first season. I think I got like 20 episodes in, out of like 25 or something like that. But I think the only reason I watched it was because of the Angela opening song, like Shangri-La.
Oh,
because like
Angela's good.
Huh? What?
I love Angela.
Yeah, Angela's good. But like, yeah, I only watched it just because of that. Because like I heard people like talk about like. Oh, I guess I mostly hear about people talking about the song. I guess I didn't really hear people talk about Fafner as much. But like I also knew Fafner like, oh, that thing was like Shangri-La. So I thought I wanted to watch it, and like I was watching it while building stuff, and like it was just really boring. Like, it had like this really like bland atmosphere, and like all the characters are like just completely cardboard, and the world, and it's trying to do this like this kind of like this deep world thing where like, oh, like there's these alien things that have to do like these kind of like consciousness copy, or like they whatever kind of thing.
Okay.
It's like some like it's trying to do like some deep sci-fi thing, but it just comes across as like pretentious and meaningless. And it has, and like it's a mech show, but like all the mech designs are kind of this, and I feel like all the mech designs look like completely ugly. It's like this really tiny torso that's like kind of twisted in like weird ways, and it's asymmetrical weird thing, and with like bulky arms, and just like ugh. I just hate the mech designs too. So I hate the story, I hate the mech designs, I hate the characters, and it was just so boring, and like I don't even understand what the hell was going on with it, even though I watched like 20 episodes, and then at that point I was just like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. Even though like I was close to finishing the first season, but I was like, yeah, I don't even feel like finishing it.
Yeah.
So the only good thing to come out of it was like Shangri-La, and then like yeah, like fuck everything else. Oh yeah, they released like, a bunch of like model kits now. Like, you know how like Motoroid, like from Goosebumps Company, is like doing a bunch of like those like retro stuff.
Right.
They released a bunch of like Fafner kits, and I'm just like, nope.
Not even.
Nope, not even. Even Anya was afraid.
Oh, I forgot you used this one.
Yeah, man, that Ilya face. I love that Ilya face. That's a classic. But yeah, Miyu is better than Kuro. Like Miyu's like she's been like Ilya's girlfriend since like first season. Like they've always been together. Like Miyu is like so much more of an interesting character, and Kuro's just kind of like knock off Ilya. I mean, kind of. Well, technically Ilya's the knock off Kuro, if you think about it in a way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like this kind of carbon copy is like Kuro's just horny.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and like she doesn't have anything else that make her unique besides being horny. But somehow like she's the one that's more popular than Miyu, and like Miyu always gets shafted. Like when we buy figures, it's always like Ilya and Kuro figures, and then it's like occasionally they'll have Miyu too. But
she's an afterthought as far as like they're concerned.
Yeah, and like character goods, like Miyu's an afterthought. So like it just pisses me off. Like no, like Miyu's like Miyu and Ilya, they're supposed to be girlfriends. They're supposed to be together. Like Miyu's the best. Miyu's better than Kuro. Ugh.
We need to watch the movie to see if they rectify it. They probably won't.
I mean, there was like when we watched like the third season, like Miyu's like kind of like the center around it though, where like she's like actually like this girlfriend like that other dimension or something. Yeah. And I think the movie is like supposed to like center around that whole thing too. Yeah. But even then, like Kuro's like the one that's like getting all the fame and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those Toho Fumu plushie things are ugly, and I don't understand why people like it and go crazy over it.
Oh my god.
Fuyu has like an entire container of them.
Yeah, I have a dozen of them.
Yeah.
But then it became too expensive to collect them.
Yeah, like recently, like Ami just like had like something more in stock. I never really understood why like these things have always been super popular, but they've always had like very low stock, so people are always like desperate to buy them.
Maybe that's probably part of the popularity.
Yeah, but I found them like really, like kind of like ugly and like that kind of like smug eye face and thing. I don't know.
Wait, that's part of the appeal.
I don't like it.
Maybe I don't like you. Get your smug face out of here.
I'm gonna move your. Okay. Oh yeah. Speaking of time being right, being Meguka is suffering. But yeah, everyone keeps praising Madoka. Like, oh, Madoka's like so revolutionary. Oh, it's a dark magical girl. But like, if you actually watch magical girl shows, magical girl shows have always been dark since the beginning. Like, kids shows have always been dark as shit.
Yeah.
And like, Madoka wasn't even that. Like, they're throwing a bunch of like angst around when like, it's not like so what? Your soul gets put into a soul gem. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, you still have your same body and everything. And that's the whole like, oh, being Meguka is suffering and like the fate of the universe thing. Like, that's not really new or anything at all. And like the only new thing about Madoka, which isn't even really new, is that they will try to go after like the male demographic, or like the mainstream male demographic with like higher budget thing. Except it wasn't even really exactly new in that sense, because Nanoha already tried to do that a long time ago.
I think a lot of it comes down to the name recognition, because
Uro Butcher.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it's just kind of like, oh, like Uro Butcher's doing this, so that must mean it's gonna be like dark and grimdark and whatever.
Oh yeah, you know what kind of like annoyed me? Like they were like, oh no, it's definitely not gonna be like that.
And then it was.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I feel like don't even bother with doing that. So what do you call it?
Just like how the like combo batch bubble guy was totally not gonna be Khan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely not Khan.
Like what's his name, John or something? It was definitely just gonna be John.
John Smith.
Yeah, something like.
But yeah, and then like, so it's not like new at all, but then everyone treats it like being like new and revolutionary, and like, and also like it got so annoying like back in that time period where like everyone is like throwing around the word like, oh, it's a deconstruction of the magical girl genre, and like you just hear that you can't scroll 5 seconds on Twitter without seeing the word deconstruction. So I'm just like I feel like that word like lost all meaning to me. Like whenever I say the word deconstruction, that's just like I just immediately start laughing just because of how ridiculous it was. Yeah, man, people are just stupid.
Well,
And I think the worst part is that like it spawned a whole bunch of other things that try to be like Madoka copycats, where it just tries to be magical girls with a bunch of like gore but zero substance.
yeah.
Like we got like magical girl site, magical girl racing project, and all that other shit. That they're not revolutionary at all, but they try to be like, oh, this is like the new edgy thing.
That sounds about right.
Oh yeah, like magical girl racing project. I looked at the like when I heard some like the character songs, I looked up the voice cast. That like I didn't notice at the time because like the show was like, so stupid and dumb, but that show had like a really good voice cast.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
They gotta make sure these like get that Madoka success.
Except they totally didn't, because it has like no soul. Oh yeah, Majima did nothing wrong. So this kind of goes into the whole like, oh, like Japan being peaceful thing. So I really like Majima as a character because like at first like he seems like kind of like there's like the underling like tourist guy who or like just guy who has just like doing like random shit for no reason, and there's no reason. Oh, I just said no reason. And it's kind of like arbitrary, but then his whole stuff at the end where he's like, oh, like all of Japan, like you guys think you're so peaceful, where there's actually a whole bunch of like bloodshed going on in the background, and there's actually a whole lot more to this world that's more than just like your idealistic life, that you're just being willfully ignorant to, and trying to put all of that into the public eye.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have like a lot of respect for that, and like he has like a lot of good points for like the state of like society.
Mm-hmm. This Japanese commentary.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like it applies to like a lot the rest of the world too.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like, as long as it doesn't affect me, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, like out of sight and out of mind kind of thing.
Yeah. That's kind of like how lots of things are.
Also, like a lot of it's about like government overreach and going and like doing a lot of like extra like regulatory stuff to like try to maintain the peace.
Yeah. Like extrajudicial.
Yeah, like what do you want to see in like season 2? Like well, we don't know if he survived. I feel like we kind of saw like a shadow of him like whispering in the guy's like ear.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like they kept it intentionally vague. But like is it really him, or is it just like a mental image of him from like how his message got spread across TV back then?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's intentionally vague, so we don't know if he survived. But like for season 2, like if he did survive, I actually want to see him and Chisato team up to like fight back against like Licorice and Lilybell for if they like overstep their like bounds.
Well, yeah. But I guess going back to what you're saying, I guess the main point is like sowing the seeds of like
Yeah.
what do you call it? I don't know. Not necessarily revolution, but like change or like
Enlightenment.
maybe.
Like trying to pull back the wheel.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that was his whole point. Like, which I feel like was kind of interesting. Where like technically they stopped him, but not really.
Yeah, like they still try to like pull their whole like it was all just a show all along kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like they couldn't like hide it completely, and I feel like it's good that, like they didn't hide it completely. And she's also like one of the pacifist sort of characters that I can respect because like she has the strength to back it up.
Uh-huh.
She actually follows through on her convictions, and like she has like legitimate reasons for like why she is that way.
Right. Yeah, like it she has what do you call it? More of a reason to be that way than a lot of other characters, where it's like it's just kind of treated as the default, I guess.
Yeah.
Without like the characters ever putting any thought into it.
Yeah, with like just like she was like a killer before, and like she changed because of like specific reasons.
Yeah.
Also, it's like okay, like she doesn't kill them, but she makes sure to like disable them enough that like they can't like continue with their shit.
Oh yeah.
Where the other people are like, oh, I'm just gonna let them go. To,
Oh,
like,
just like walk off and do their own thing.
yeah, it's like the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, like I'll have like think about it more, but I also feel like Majima like and the whole like Licorice like hiding secrets and all that stuff. I feel like there could be like so much more like symbolism and like way different ways to interpret it even beyond like the surface level.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sakura Best Girl. Okay, that's like probably like lots of like hot takes we can do for like Best Girl, but I feel like this one's gonna be one that like pisses people off the most. So yeah, Sakura Best Girl. Hey, that's it.
Give me a second. We're talking about Original Fate, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I still watched it like what do you call it? Heaven's Feel.
Oh yeah. Well,
It feels like it came out like, during the pandemic, and then like I never got to watch that one.
was it available on streaming now?
I don't
might
know.
be.
Yeah. You need to look for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love Sakura the most. Like she's so precious.
I'll have to think about it more about best, but I will say at least underrated.
Yeah. Wait, I thought she is your best girl.
No, I think she is, but like, it's that weird thing with with Sakura faces where like,
Oh, like do you like her or do you like BB kind of thing?
where you're just kind of mixing them all together and just like,
Yeah. I guess that is kind of that.
So it's like,
But I think like even like isolated by itself, like I think I like her a lot.
yeah, no, that's definitely I do like her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Call of the Night. Like I was like with how much hype for it, like I was like kind of excited for it, and like I did enjoy it, but it felt kind of empty afterwards watching it. So I feel like, like the only thing that like really excelled for it is like with the atmosphere. Like it got the whole like nighttime feeling, and like the soundtrack, the moodiness of like the lighting and like all the colors and everything. Like it gave a really good atmosphere, and the characters were kind of nice too, but at the same time, like when it's trying to pull the whole like dilemma, like to be a vampire or not to be a vampire, or falling in love kind of thing. I feel like it kind of like tried to like pull off like this kind of deep thing when it's like didn't really feel that deep.
Right, like I can definitely see what they were going for or whatever, but it's definitely one of those shows that I feel like it's definitely geared to a much younger audience that.
So we basically we're too old for this shit.
Maybe.
But
I don't think necessarily just because it's aimed at a younger audience doesn't mean like it can't delve into like deeper subjects.
Yeah.
Because like it kind of did focus on that like atmosphere and that whole idea of kind of drifting, not knowing what you want to do.
Oh, yeah, that's what I relate to a lot because like I'm always like feeling kind of like lost in my life.
Right, but the thing is they kind of go into it, but there's not much after that. There's not really like it doesn't necessarily have to have concrete answers, obviously.
Yeah,
but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's trying to like.
I feel like if they ignore the whole like is it good or bad to be a vampire thing, or at least like push it off until later and spend more time developing that kind of like driftness feeling and like him being like out of sync with like his other friends. And like the being out of sync with the rest of society because like it's the nighttime and like he's up at night when everyone else is like going to bed. I feel like if they could like focus on like developing that more and have more changes with the characters with regard to that, then it might have been more like meaningful.
Right. Like maybe I'm misremembering, but I kind of feel like he was really passive in that whole like aspect of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, I mean, it'd be. I feel like it'd be better if he was still uncertain, but like at least kind of show some sort of trying to figure it out, more development rather than kind of repeating the same stuff over and over again, I guess.
Yeah. Look, the Aqua is pretty nice though. Also,
That's
all
just
like
because you like her.
all Amamiya Sora characters are just Aquas at this point.
They're all the same.
But yeah, I do like Nasuna. Oh, I like the Garu ones and stuff too. Oh yeah. There's also the other like vampire one that like I think that's actually supposed to be the boy and like, and it has like a bunch of like lovers and of like different like both genders and stuff. And there's like some all sorts of like things surrounding sexuality in that person.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, I forgot about it until like I saw them like over here and I was like, oh yeah, that person exists. I feel like that
It was just kind of like off to the side, kind of.
Yeah, it's just like a one-off kind of thing. I feel like if they showed more of that too, it would have been like it would have been nice too. And also like the other, like the Galu and like the other vampires. Yeah, I feel like it had a lot of potential and it did get the atmosphere really right, but I guess it kind of fell off in terms of like emotional depth with the character development.
I feel like it's one of those things that even if you enjoy it at the time, it's not necessarily gonna stick with you over time.
Yeah, like I remember like but I liked it a lot when it was airing, but then like right afterwards like I remember like we had like at the end of year rating and like I put it like, pretty low. Okay, I don't know if this is a hot take or not because I don't know how much. Well, I think people do like Saints Know a lot. It seems.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even back when it was airing, like everyone's like, "Oh, Saints Know so cool," blah blah. But like I feel like yeah, like the younger one, I feel like she's just annoying, and also like, in the songs like she does all the rap part, but it's not like the kind of. Is that the kind of rap you would think of when you hear like English kind of rap? It's the kind of like bratty girl kind of rap kind of thing, and it just sounds like so out of place. And I feel like I was like enjoying the song, and then like her part comes up and it just completely ruins it. So like I just really hate her, and I wish like they did like took her part out of all the songs. So basically, I just want to see like the older sister be solo.
I thought you loved Razor Sulan. It has the same kind of parts too.
Oh yeah, that like the Sacred Road does have that kind of part, but yeah, I don't know why. Like, but
yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I like that song so much because it has that, but it doesn't irritate me the way that she does, and I don't know why. Well, actually, Racist Villain, I only really know like Sacred Road. I haven't really listened much to like other songs that much.
I haven't too much either, but you know.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I don't know why. Like when I was like when we watched like I thought Lily Bouquet and like the OP came on, like I heard that and I'm like, man, I'm gonna hate this, aren't I? And I'm like, huh, why don't I hate this? And why do I love this song so much?
Yeah, why?
I don't know why, but I hate the Saints Know songs that like show up in the anime. Like maybe there's some other like extra songs that like I mean Love Live has like tons of like songs that don't get put into the anime or movie or whatever. So maybe I would have liked some of those. But like as far as the ones I saw in the anime, like her parts are like, bleh. Okay, this one, I feel like it shouldn't be a hot take at all, but you, like, surprisingly, so many people keep talking about how, like, oh, like, my Dress Up Darling is just, like, full of fan service. Okay.
Spoilers.
Okay. But yeah, like, yeah, it has fan service, but, like, it's actually not the focus, like, there's a lot of fan service in there, but it's not the focus of the show at all, and it's just kind of, and it's just, like, if you actually watch it, like feel the emotions of the show, like, the fan service is all just like kind of a side thing, and there's so much heart to it, and about like being a creator and like and trying to and like liking things that are like at odds with what you're supposed to like or like what society expects of you, and there's and like all of them have like their different ideas of like cosplaying or like being creating like for him like he was like trying to create the dolls and stuff, but a lot of his feelings all come across for like any artist, and like the feelings like, oh, like want to cosplay characters that like don't really fit your body, or like want to like be a good photographer to like support your sister and stuff. Like there's so much heart to it, and like all the characters like really wholesome. And but like, a lot of people like keep fixating on like, oh, there's a lot of fan service, that means it must be bad. And I feel like the people who can't see past that and see like the heart of the show have like no media literacy.
I would say, like, in general, whether something has fan service or not doesn't necessarily mean like the quality in one way or another.
That comes down to like the whole like Western like puritanical bullshit thing again.
Yeah.
Where, like, oh, fan service immediately equals bad. Like no, that's like that. That's because it has fan service doesn't mean that like it goes like one way or the other.
Right. I think it's more about the usage, because here's one of the things that kind of drives me crazy about like quote mature media, where it's like, oh, sex scenes, like, oh, so mature or something like that, like,
Yeah.
you know, sex position or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you know, just be having that makes a lot of people think mature, even if like the actual circumstances, the actual like story is like really juvenile.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to like this, for fan service, it kind of matters why it's being used, how it's being used, because there's definitely stuff that's just made for the fan service, where just like you have these absurd situations just so you can see some like tits on screen or something like that.
Yeah, but here like the fan service is in service of the story.
Right, yeah.
Like I mean, cosplay at its whole cosplay is like at its heart like a form of like self-expression. So like the fan service kind of like adds to that too, where like it's like it's her self-expression.
Right.
And it also goes with like her like feeling confident or just like not caring about it, and then like but she does get shy in some parts too, so you kind of see a gap, and like you see like what like which parts of her like care about which, or like get so conscious about which things.
Yeah.
I hope people like, oh, it's just like male self-insert thing, but except like the mangaka is a woman who's like a cosplayer, so if anything like Marin is like self-insert, not the guy.
Yeah. people like to jump on that all the time, like, you know, find excuses like, oh, the author must be blah blah blah.
Yeah, and also like a lot of like guy self-inserts that are completely bland and stuff. Like Wakana's like the opposite of that. Like he's very unique.
Right.
Like he, it's rare for me to like guy characters a lot this much. Like I actually do like him a lot. Like he just, and like it makes complete sense for like why like Maureen's like so like enamored with him too.
Yeah. He's definitely more developed, you know, than a lot of kind of main guys, because, yeah, let's be honest, a lot of them are just there to be the self-insert.
Yeah, but it's more like Marin's the self-insert.
Well, yeah.
And also like when he was like making the Shizuku cosplay, and like he was mistakenly understanding that like, oh, she wants this thing done in like 2 weeks or whatever, and like was pushing himself, and like his grandfather was in the hospital and stuff, and then he was getting really depressed about like, oh, like not getting enough practice, or like feeling like he's sucking at art, or like not improving enough, and like not getting enough work done, and like getting depressed about like, oh, like will he ever be good at doing this?
Yeah.
Is he practicing the right way? Like all those like depressive emotions. Like I felt that, like I rewatched this recently again when I was building Marcus, and like it hits me so hard like as a creator too. Like there's a lot of like really really real and raw emotions in this.
Right. I can't really remember the exact details too much, but wasn't there a part kind of during that same kind of like arc where it's kind of like there's that kind of epiphany where you don't necessarily have, like, if you're practicing the doll making, it doesn't necessarily mean you literally have to be doing just that.
Oh yeah,
but you can learn, you know, life experiences, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
all plays into that.
Yeah, so like he was actually like he had this flashback to like when his like grandfather. Actually, because like his grandfather like took the brush to the hospital too.
Yeah.
He also had a flashback to when he was like talking to his grandfather when he was a kid, like, oh, like, and the grandfather told him like, oh, like if you like stop drawing for a day, it takes like 3 weeks to get your groove back or whatever.
Right.
And like he was feeling guilty about that, but like because of like doing all this stuff and like helping with the cosplay, like he's not getting as much practice in. And like I felt that too. Like I feel guilty all the time about like not practicing like art and writing and stuff enough.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was like that hit me hard too. And then like when he like did another like face for his grandfather to evaluate, and he was like, oh, you got a lot better, and he's like, what? But I didn't practice. So, like when the grandfather was talking about how like, yeah, but you had experience like putting makeup on Marin, like observing her up close, and like see and like experience like how like she dresses up and stuff like that, and that like all your life experiences that you wouldn't think of are related can translate into the art, like drawing, the like painting.
Yeah. Like when you get so kind of like focused on something, you kind of like miss basically everything else, you kind of your view narrows too much.
Yeah, and he has that again too when like, he went to the scene. And he was like, oh, like, this is the first time here. And, like Marion's like Mati, and then like he was stepping in, and he was like, oh wow, like so like he sees it all the time on TV, but it's completely different. Like actually being there, and because like through being with Marion, like going out and like enjoying different things, like he gets embarrassed and like potty about a lot of things, but he also and like gets a lot of experiences and like just like becomes like more fulfilled and stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, it really plays well with that dynamic between the two.
Yeah, and then like there's like the whole dynamic thing, like Marion and like Juju-sama, and then like the sister, like the respect for like creators and like wanting to like work with other creators that you admire, and like being afraid of like, oh, like will this creator that I like if I do something similar to you, like will they be like I feel that myself, like oh, like if like these people see me drawing their stuff, like would they get mad or stuff, kind of thing. Yeah, like there's just so much stuff like that's like real. There's just so much like stuff that's real about like being a creator in here that like, yeah. I just get so mad when people like call it like nothing but fan service. Like it's okay if you don't like it. It's okay if you're not gonna watch it because or whatever. But to completely dismiss the rest of the show because of that, like yeah. Anime fans are shit. Okay. Oh yeah.
Also Anya.
When Pikachu came out, everyone was like, no, don't stand up, and then Pokemon fans afterwards like, oh man, Milsgrad hot.
So it's not a hot take though.
I mean, she's hot, that's why she's a hot take. Milsgrad hot. There's more things I can say, but it's YouTube, so I probably shouldn't say it.
I need to protect my cat.
Yeah. Oh man, Engage Kids is like really. I love this thing. Like it has like such like cultured faces, and like all the girls are like completely twisted and horrible people. But because you see them like fighting each other while being twisted and horrible, it actually makes it better. And like it just throws into like all the animation, like even this like the
it has all the anime tropes.
Yeah, like even this like mech suit with, like that has like tentacles and stuff, and to pull the nun in. Like this happens a lot in like the more like pervy kind of things. Like I didn't expect to ever see it like animated on screen, and then like this one just threw it in, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like. Well, it doesn't belong. She stole it. Like, what? It belongs to the sexy nun that anime just has.
Yeah.
What else we got?
What's it? We got sexy nuns with. Oh yeah, we got like have like do like this weird like kiss thing for the powers, and then like like the amnesia and shit.
Oh yeah, main character with amnesia.
And like fighting like little sister having to fight again, and then like suddenly like, oh, this little sister is like this demon thing, but then it's like it just ends up like fighting like. Had like big fight, and then had like those like petty fights at the end with like the other demon girl.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and then there's that stuff like where like it was the mom all along kind of thing. And like he got betrayed by like he ended up losing everything, and he had this father figure, but he got betrayed by them in the end, and then but that guy was actually kind of looking out for him in the end too, and like it was always kind of emotional, but it's kind of not because it has like memories, and it's just so animes. Like you can't. This is like the most anime that has ever animated.
It is definitely peak anime.
Not just because we don't mean peak as in it's like the best or like good. We just mean peak as in like it's so anime.
It's the most anime.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. That I don't know how else to describe it. It's like that. But yeah, Kisora is so hard, and like the blue one is like so hot too. And, like when they have those like angry faces at each other, or like they just look at him with disgust, like.
Oh, speaking of that,
chest kiss.
Do we need to watch that one anime?
Which one?
It's about the girls looking at you with disgust.
Did that get localized anywhere?
Thought so.
Did it get picked up?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, we know watch like Inukai-san's dog too.
Oh yeah, she doesn't look at you with disgust.
It's the opposite. You look at her with disgust. But yeah, I guess that's the last of our like hot takes.
Was it the last?
Yeah. But yeah, I have no idea if these are actually hot takes or because like I mean I'm pretty detached from most people.
Well, like I said, I just speak the truth.
You ain't got no truth in you.
So what's the verdict?
The verdict?
I'm out of jail, right?
Nah, I'm putting your enemy card in the trash can. Your enemy card's in trash now.
I'm putting your card in the trash.
No, my enemy card. No.
Oh, put it in the trash.
written trash.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess it's. Oh, wait, shit. We've been there. It's like 3 hours. What the hell?
That's a.
Exactly 3 hours.
I hope this was enjoyable.
Honestly, I feel like if anyone came, they probably like tune out after like after like yelling at them the first time. We hot take too hard.
Maybe.
Okay.
Ooh, solar takes.
Well, it's April Fool, so technically we have possible deniability. This could have been all an April Fool's joke, maybe. Maybe.
Was it though?
Yeah. Well, we'll see you again sometime if we ever actually get around to doing stuff. But yeah, as always, anime was a mistake. Don't bother listening to anime fans, especially not us.
You know what you should listen to? Your financial decisions.
We're bad anime decisions, not good financial commitments.